Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, everyone. Awaken the S-level Golden Crow Totem at the beginning. Chapter 76. In the days that followed, Chen Ziyan continued to kill everyone in the secret realm. Luo Tianxiang is also watching him closely now. This guy dares to be so presumptuous even in the 5th level secret realm. Seeing Chen Ziyan's fiery appearance, Luo Tianxiang couldn't help but sigh. Roar! A series of pitiful beast roars roared out in the forest. Chen Ziyan hummed happily and put the monster corpses into the storage bag one by one. The animal-attracting powder has finally arrived. Chen Ziyan happily became a monster butcher. Basically, in one day, you can earn a total of 800,000 points. Okay. Luo Tianxiang jumped down and looked at the blood river at his feet. He didn't know what to say for a moment. What's wrong, Teacher Luo? Isn't it just after 4 o'clock? Chen Ziyan asked with a puzzled look on his face. I thought to myself that it would only end in an hour or two, so why did it jump out now? We have a guest coming tonight. Let's end it early today. Luo Tianxiang said. Chen Ziyan was stunned. If you are 1 hour ahead of schedule, what I will lose is tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of points. How about, Teacher Luo, can you go back first? Then come in and pick me up at 6 o'clock. Chen Ziyan narrowed his eyes and said. Don't even think about it. Luo Tianxiang refused sharply. After the previous attack, Luo Tianxiang now dared not let Chen Ziyan out of his sight. Although in comparison, the secret realm is very safe. But if he is not here, Chen Ziyan, who has no sense of propriety, comes out with a lot of beast-attracting powder and attracts several 4th-level monsters, which will be very dangerous then. Therefore, Luo Tianxiang did not dare to let Chen Ziyan stay alone in the secret realm. Seeing Luo Tianxiang's resolute tone, Chen Ziyan naturally knew that there was no room for negotiation, so he could only lower his head and follow Luo Tianxiang out. Back at the manor, Luo Tianxiang had already asked the servants to prepare meals. After a while, a luxury car stopped at the entrance of the manor. Luo Tianxiang greeted him with a kind smile. But he wasn't particularly enthusiastic and was quite polite. Teacher Luo. A middle-aged man got out of the car first and held Luo Tianxiang's hand with enthusiasm. Then, a young man came down. It looked like he was still a high school student. Come in, the food is ready. Luo Tianxiang took the two of them to the hall. A table of delicacies has been prepared, and the air is filled with a strong aroma. This should be the young hero who saved several cities in Linjiang a few days ago, Chen Ziyan, right? He is indeed a talented person, outstanding. When the middle-aged man saw Chen Ziyan, he greeted him enthusiastically and flattered him repeatedly. Chen Ziyan smiled awkwardly, but out of politeness, he shook the man's extended hand. Snort. The young man behind the man turned his head slightly and snorted coldly. He seemed unconvinced. Let me introduce you. This is Zhang Hai, the principal of Shudu Middle School. Luo Tianxiang came up and introduced. Principal of Shudu Middle School. Chen Ziyan said quickly, Hello, Principal Zhang. But I also had some doubts in my mind. The college entrance examination is just a few months away. Why is Principal Zhang here if he doesn't go to school to pay attention to education? But if you think about it carefully, Luo Tianxiang is a tutor at Qingbei University after all, and has a high status. It is normal for this guy to fawn over him. This is Principal Zhang's son, Zhang He. Chen Ziyan looked over. Zhang He still looked a little unhappy on his face. Looking at Chen Ziyan's eyes, he subconsciously glanced at his head. Have I ever offended this guy? Why does he seem a little unhappy with me? Chen Ziyan narrowed his eyes slightly, a little confused. Zhang Hai also noticed his son's gaffe and quickly turned his head to glare at him. Let's eat. Luo Tianxiang also felt a hint of displeasure in his heart, and his tone was no longer as enthusiastic as before. Zhang Hai's pupils shrank. Naturally knowing that Luo Tianxiang was a little unhappy, he quickly sat down with a smile. Come on, Teacher Luo, let me toast you. Zhang Hai quickly filled a glass of wine with a smile on his face. I won't drink this wine, it will cause trouble. Luo Tianxiang waved his hand and refused. For someone with his level of cultivation, how much impact could a little alcohol have? Just decline. Zhang Hai naturally knew this, and he suddenly became a little angry, and glared at Zhang He fiercely. Everything was fine originally, but his son insisted on getting angry, which made Luo Tianxiang unhappy. What else can we talk about after this? Zhang Hai was extremely angry. The more he looked at his unfulfilled son, the more he felt angry. But there is no way, who calls this his only son, for the sake of his future? Teacher Luo, I was lucky in the western mountains not long ago and got a golden spirit grass. As Zhang Hai spoke, he took out a brocade box from his arms, put it on the table, and opened it gently. Suddenly, a golden light bloomed from the box. At the same time, a strong aroma instantly filled the entire hall. This is the third-grade elixir, golden spirit grass. Chen Ziyan was quite shocked. This is a third-grade elixir. For Zhang Hai to be so generous, it seems that he must have something important to ask of Luo Tianxiang. However, isn't it a little inappropriate for Chen Ziyan to be present for this kind of thing? After all, I am an outsider. However, neither Zhang Hai nor Luo Tianxiang seemed to care about this. Principal Zhang, what do you mean? Luo Tianxiang sat there without even glancing at the golden spirit grass. His brows furrowed slightly. Teacher Luo, this is just a meeting gift. I hope to make friends with Teacher Luo. Zhang Hai had a kind smile on his face and gently pushed the golden spirit grass in front of Luo Tianxiang. Principal Zhang, if you have anything to say, just tell me. I don't like my mother-in-law. Luo Tianxiang was still sitting, with his arms folded, and had no intention of taking the golden spirit grass. The smile on Zhang Hai's face twitched, and he sat back down. But then, the smile on his face became even bigger. Teacher Luo, I won't hide it anymore. I came here mainly because I hope that Teacher Luo can give me a chance to let my Zhang He participate in this training. Zhang Hai said. Suddenly, Luo Tianxiang's brows frowned even more tightly. The truth is true. In previous years in the capital, there were many people from big families who wanted to have a relationship, but they were all rejected by the principal and even warned. So no one dared to think of using the back door anymore. This time, it was the first time that students from outside the capital participated in the training, so Luo Tianxiang came over specially. Zhang Hai and the others only knew the benefits of training, but they didn't know how much Qingbei valued this training, and did not allow any shady secrets at all. How dare you come to me and use the back door? How ridiculous. Principal Zhang, I'm afraid this will disappoint you. Luo Tianxiang's tone became colder. Teacher Luo. Zhang Hai stepped forward and pushed the golden spirit grass a few centimeters towards Luo Tianxiang. This is just a little bit of my thoughts, and there will be more after that. Enough. Luo Tianxiang interrupted Zhang Hai sharply, anger already showing on his face. Zhang Hai swallowed and shrank back. Luo Tianxiang let out a breath, trying to calm down the anger in his heart. At first, Zhang Hai wanted to invite him to have dinner at the best restaurant in Shu. Although he didn't know what his purpose was, Luo Tianxiang didn't want to lose his face. Because he was worried that Chen Ziyan would be assassinated again, Luo Tianxiang refused the invitation and asked Zhang Hai to come to the manor instead. When Zhang Hai heard this, he was immediately overjoyed, thinking that Luo Tianxiang felt more hidden in his manner. Therefore, he thought this matter was already a sure thing. Zhang Hai gritted his teeth secretly and took out another small brocade box from his arms. Teacher Luo, here is a supreme spiritual bead. Look. Zhang Hai thought that maybe the price he offered was not enough to impress Luo Tianxiang, so he took out another supreme spirit pearl. However, just when he was about to open the brocade box, Luo Tianxiang interrupted him. Principal Zhang, did I not speak clearly enough? I said, no. Luo Tianxiang's tone became even colder. An inexplicable pressure also burst out. When Zhang Hai saw this, a few beads of sweat suddenly appeared on his forehead. Teacher Luo, Quincy Zhang has also broken through to the 7th level, but it's just more than a month late. Do you think it's okay to be accommodating? Zhang Hai said pleadingly. Luo Tianxiang closed his eyes and breathed a little quickly. Hearing Zhang Hai's words, he felt even more angry. Luo Tianxiang was already trying his best to suppress the anger in his heart. But you also know that our training requirement is to break through the 7th level before the end of the winter vacation. Luo Tianxiang's tone and attitude became cold. Zhang Hai felt a little trembling. He began to hesitate when speaking. Luo, Teacher Luo, we're only a little over a month away. Can you be accommodating? Accommodating. Luo Tianxiang's eyes widened instantly and he glared at Zhang Hai angrily. Zhang Hai leaned back in his chair subconsciously and was startled by Luo Tianxiang's momentum. Zhang Hai, I see that your Shudu Middle School sends dozens of outstanding students to Qingbei every year, so I am willing to invite you to come and get together today. But if this is what you want, then I can tell you clearly that it's impossible. In this month, there are at least 1 or 2 students in Kyoto who have broken through to the 7th level. Even if they have powerful backgrounds, they dare not come to us and ask us to be accommodating. You. Why do you dare to ask me to accommodate you? Luo Tianxiang showed no mercy and did not save any face for Zhang Hai. After this meal, you can leave. Luo Tianxiang stood up and wanted to leave. At this moment, Zhang Hai immediately became anxious and quickly grabbed Luo Tianxiang. Teacher Luo, don't be angry. However, Luo Tianxiang was still in the mood to listen to his nonsense, so he immediately shook off his hand. At this time, Chen Zion, who was sitting aside and devouring his food, was stunned for a moment. Talk fell apart. Teacher Luo is leaving. Do I still want to eat here? Chen Zion looked at the unfinished Kobe steak on the plate, feeling reluctant to part with it for a moment. There is so much left, what a waste. I'm not full yet either. Teacher Luo, calm down, you, the master, don't care about the faults of others. Zhang Hai panicked and felt very nervous. He knew that he had offended Luo Tianxiang this time. Who is Luo Tianxiang? He is one of the youngest tutors at Qingbei University. How could he offend Diki? Teacher Luo. Zhang Hai pulled him up again, his attitude was extremely humble. Where is the limelight of the principal of Shudu Middle School on weekdays? Shudu Middle School is the best middle school in the province, and Zhang Hai's status is also quite high. Even those wealthy and nobles and high-ranking officials had to show their respects a little bit when they saw him. However, at this moment, Luo Tianxiang was already quite disgusted with Zhang Hai, and of course he would not give him any more face. Teacher Luo. You are an adult and don't remember the faults of villains. Zhang Hai was almost crying. He knew the serious consequences of this matter. If Luo Tianxiang spoke ill of him, his position as principal would probably be over. Zhang Hai also regrets it very much now. He has always had high hopes for his son, and Zhang He did not embarrass him. He was also among the best in Shudu Middle School. This time, when he heard that Luo Tianxiang came to Shudu for training, he got a lot of spirit beads for Zhang He and forcibly helped him break through to the 7th level. I just hope that Zhang Hai can join this training. Now that he thought about it carefully, he also regretted it. He was so excited and carried away that he didn't think clearly. At this time, Zhang He on the side lowered his head, clenched his fists tightly, and beat his legs. Seeing his father being so groveling, Zhang He was extremely angry. Ba, ba, ba. At this time, the sound of Chen Zion chewing something was very harsh. Zhang He looked over and saw Chen Zion wolfing down the food with a nonchalant look on his face, and he suddenly became even more angry. Teacher Luo, just calm down. His father's humble voice echoed in the hall, like sharp thorns piercing his heart. Teacher Luo. You don't care about the faults of others. Teacher Luo, I was the one who was abrupt, please don't take it to heart. My father's words were like needles piercing my ears. Zhang He gritted his teeth and twisted his facial features together. Finally, he couldn't hold back anymore and burst out. That's enough. Father, let's go. Zhang He stood up and held Zhang Hai. Xiaohei, sit down first. Zhang Hai quickly grabbed Zhang He and wanted to make him sit down. He knew that his son was young and energetic again. However, this time he was facing Luo Tianxiang, whom he could not afford to offend. How could Zhang He be allowed to be willful? Father. This time, Zhang He couldn't ignore it. In his opinion, although his father was indeed at fault in the first place, he had already humbled himself so lowly, yet the other party still refused to forgive him. This is simply not taking them seriously. Zhang He was used to being domineering and domineering based on his status as Zhang Hai. In addition, due to his outstanding talent, he was arrogant. Now that I see Luo Tianxiang's attitude, I can't help but feel sad. Zhang He, sit down. Zhang He, Sit down. Zhang Hai was anxious. If Zhang He was allowed to continue making trouble like this, he might really offend Luo Tianxiang to death. However, Zhang He's eyes widened with anger, he clenched his fists tightly, and veins popped out on his forehead. 30 years to the east of the river and 30 to the west of the river, don't bully young people into poverty. Zhang said almost roaringly. Chen Ziyan raised his head reflexively, with oil still sticking to the corners of his mouth. Nima, have you also watched Do Ma Kang Chong? But how do you have the nerve to say this? Do you get angry when others don't help you? What the hell? Luo Tianxiang was also stunned. How? Looking like you were bullied by me. Sit down quickly. Zhang Hai immediately pressed Zhang He down, his forehead covered with sweat. Teacher Luo, this rebellious son of mine is spoiled by my bad habits. Don't take it to heart. Zhang Hai quickly grabbed Luo Tianxiang and said, Father, stop talking. Zhang He stood up again. But this time, he walked in front of Chen Ziyan. Chen Ziyan, do you dare to compete with me? Ah. Chen Ziyan was stunned for a moment, wondering why he was suddenly involved. Zhang Hai was furious and scolded him quickly. It's okay for my son to be pampered on weekdays, but what is the occasion today? How could you act so wantonly? However, Zhang He ignored his father and stared directly at Chen Ziyan. It seems that your master is not convinced by my students. Luo Tianxiang said coldly. Since he is now training Chen Ziyan is naturally his student. It was obvious that Zhang He was not convinced by Chen Ziyan. Teacher Luo, this child of mine has been spoiled by me, so just think of it as a fart. Zhang Hai quickly tried to remedy the situation and stood beside Luo Tianxiang with a flattering look on his face, smiling with him. However, Zhang He turned around and looked at Luo Tianxiang seriously. Then, he said word for word, I'm just not convinced. Even if he breaks through the 7th level before me, it doesn't mean he is better than me. In the end, strength is what matters, isn't it? Seeing this, the corners of Luo Tianxiang's mouth slightly raised. But Zhang Hai knew that this was not a kind smile. You are right, strength is the most important thing, but... Are you so sure that you can beat Chen Ziyan? Luo Tianxiang said with a half-smile. When Chen Ziyan heard this, he felt cursed in his heart. Why do you feel that Teacher Luo is deliberately causing hatred for himself? HMPH. Of course, although I have only just broken through to the 7th level, I have already learned new skills. Zhang He said with great confidence. At this time, Zhang Hai covered his face with his hands and sighed helplessly. He knew that the situation was probably irreversible. Oh, this is indeed a bit surprising. Luo Tianxiang was indeed a little shocked. Generally speaking, it often takes several months to master new skills every time you break through a realm. It seems that this Zhang He is indeed extremely talented. However, this also depends on who you compare with. That's it, I don't object to it. However, if you want to compete with Chen Ziyan, you must first agree to it. Luo Tianxiang said slowly, and then gave Chen Ziyan a meaningful look. He seemed to have a bad smile. Chen Ziyan frowned instantly. Sure enough, Teacher Luo is deliberately trying to bring hatred to me. Suddenly, Chen Ziyan felt that the Kobe steak on the plate was boring. Zhang He walked up to Chen Ziyan again and looked down at him with arrogance. Don't tell me, you don't dare to compete with me. Zhang He glared at Chen Ziyan fiercely. Chen Ziyan shook his head, gently picked up a handkerchief and wiped his mouth. How should I put it, this Zhang He is really a bit brainless, but if you think about it carefully, it's not very strange. Most normal people would never think of Zhang He being so extreme when encountering this kind of thing. But Zhang He was used to being arrogant, so when he ate it for the first time, he naturally felt extremely unhappy. Moreover, under the years of such arrogance and extravagance, my mental ability to bear it is not strong to begin with. When encountering this kind of thing, it is actually normal for you to become overly emotional and lose your reason and sense of proportion. Otherwise, why are there always such brainless villains in novels and TV shows? You ask me to compete with you, do I have to compete with you? When you go to the ticket office, prostitutes will have to pay you to sleep with you, let alone me, a hero who has saved the lives of hundreds of thousands of people. Chen Ziyan leaned back in his chair and crossed his legs, giving him the air of a ruffian. The corners of Zhang He's eyes twitched, and his facial features were on the verge of exploding with anger. But now if he wants to vent his anger, he can only defeat Chen Ziyan in a fair and honest competition. Therefore, Chen Ziyan had to agree to compete with him. Then tell me, what do you need to do before you are willing to compete with me? Zhang He asked fiercely. Chen Ziyan curled his lips. Hooked. It's a competition. Anyway, it's a matter of one move for both sides, and it doesn't take much effort. But it would be great if we could get something out. Chen Ziyan looked at the golden spirit grass on the table, felt the rich spiritual energy, and swallowed subconsciously. Third grade elixir. How much is this worth? However, Chen Ziyan still restrained himself and withdrew his greedy eyes. Although Chen Ziyan wanted to take this opportunity to get some luck. But that golden spirit grass was so precious, even if Luo Tianxiang didn't take it, Zhang Hai would never let Zhang He take it out for bets. Chen Ziyan thought for a while and said, well, it's boring to just compete, so how about adding some bonuses? Luck. Zhang He narrowed his eyes and looked even angrier. He didn't expect that Chen Ziyan was still thinking of getting some benefits from him at this time. But then he sneered in his heart. You will pay a heavy price for your greed. Okay, tell me what kind of bonus you want to add. Zhang He nodded and said. He is quite confident in his new skills, otherwise he would not take the initiative to compete with Chen Ziyan. Therefore, he does not feel that he will lose at all. As for the lottery, it naturally doesn't matter. Let me think about it. Chen Ziyan began to think. After a few moments, he slowly spoke. Well, how about just betting on a few super spirit beads? Zhang He frowned. Super spirit bead. It's really a lion's mouth. Zhang He despised Chen Ziyan even more. In his opinion, Chen Ziyan was only at the 7th level, and he was already ambitious for the super spirit bead. After all, super spirit beads are used by mid to high level warriors. The 7th level cultivation level is not enough to absorb the violent spiritual power in the super spirit bead. Okay, then I will give you 3 super spirit beads. Okay, then I will give you 3 super spirit beads. Zhang He nodded. He can naturally afford the super spirit beads. Of course, to be precise, his father paid for it. Okay, Chen Ziyan naturally agreed immediately. I can get 3 super spirit beads for free again. Afterwards, Luo Tianxiang led several people into the secret realm. After all, he still couldn't stretch out during a fight in the manor. Zhang Hai felt the richness of the spiritual energy in the secret realm and was very surprised. As expected of Qingbei University, it's a big deal. Just training can bring out the 5th grade secret realm. Zhang Hai also has secret rune stones, which he uses to train students from Shudu Middle School. It's just a 9th grade secret realm. Teacher Luo. Zhang Hai wanted to say something more. But Luo Tianxiang immediately interrupted him. Principal Zhang, there is no need to say any more, let's take a look at their competition. At least, it will make you understand the difference between them. Therefore, Zhang Hai could only swallow what he wanted to say. At the same time, he was also a little surprised. According to Luo Tianxiang, is Chen Ziyan much stronger than his own son? It is true that his son broke through to the 7th level more than a month later than Chen Ziyan, but he has also learned new skills. And the new skills are very powerful. Zhang Hai is also very confident in his son. Now that things have come to this, he now hopes that his son can slap Luo Tianxiang hard in the face. Then I'll wait and see. Zhang Hai murmured and looked over. Not far away, Chen Ziyan and Zhang He stood opposite each other. Chen Ziyan, I won't be merciful later, you can take care of yourself. Zhang He said coldly. His arrogance was clearly evident in his tone. Oh, Chen Ziyan narrowed his eyes slightly and found it more interesting. This guy really has some inexplicable confidence. Chen Ziyan became curious, where did Zhang He's confidence come from? Totem, or skills, or does it have some powerful spiritual weapon? However, no matter what it is, I'm afraid it can't bridge the gap between them. Zhang He stopped talking nonsense and directly activated his spiritual energy. The majestic momentum poured out. The totem rises and appears from behind. A-level totem, rattlesnake. Hiss. Faintly, it seemed that one could hear the sinister voice. It's your turn, Zhang He said slowly, looking at Chen Ziyan resolutely. If you have any means, just let it go, don't wait around here. Chen Ziyan said. To deal with a small 7th grade, there is no need to release the totem. Seeing Chen Xian's disdainful attitude, Zhang He suddenly became angry. His face was so gloomy that he was almost dripping with water. Okay, you asked for this, Zhang said gloomily. Immediately afterwards, spiritual power burst out. Snake binding. The spiritual power spread out, then condensed again, transforming into snake shapes. Rushing towards Chen Xian. Hiss. Each of them had their mouths wide open, and their slender nobukos were like sharp swords. Once you get entangled with these things, it will be difficult to break free. Like being tethered to a snake, the harder you try to break free, the tighter it becomes. Finally, he was strangled to death. Little tricks. Chen Xian snorted coldly, and then his spiritual power gathered at the tip of his palm, and he suddenly raised it forward. A wave of air visible to the naked eye slashed out. Pong! Those spiritual snakes were chopped into spiritual light spots in an instant and dissipated in the world. Zhang He's pupils trembled. He didn't expect that Chen Xian could easily break his own skills with just a casual attack. This shows that the spiritual power gathered by the opponent has far exceeded the spiritual power intensity of his own skills. What is this concept? It's equivalent to a 6-year-old child trying his best to suck milk, but it can't match an adult's carelessness. How can this be? Zhang He looked in disbelief. Both are 7th grade, and I am just more than a month behind him. Why is the gap so big? However, this does not mean that Zhang He will admit defeat. You do have something to be proud of. A few days ago, I might not be your opponent, but you will definitely not be able to take this move. Zhang He put his hands in his pockets, raised his head slightly and looked at Chen Xian with his lower eyelids. However, half a day passed, and Zhang He made no next move. Chen Xian frowned slightly and quickly sensed his surroundings. This guy actually uses poison. Chen Xian felt the poisonous gas emanating from Zhang He's body. This should be what Zhang He relies on. But it's a pity. This kind of poison is basically difficult to affect people with a higher level than the user. Moreover, Chen Xian also has a physique that is immune to all poisons. So Chen Xian simply put his pockets in his pockets and hummed a song casually. Seeing this, Zhang He finally realized something was wrong. What's going on? Why doesn't this guy Chen Xian show any signs of being poisoned? Impossible. It's obviously time to have an attack at this time. Zhang He's eyes widened with anger, unable to accept the facts in front of him. Chen Xian, why is nothing wrong with you? Zhang He asked angrily. Chen Xian smiled softly. Why is it okay? Do you still need to say that? It must be because your poison is too low end. Chen Xian's words were like a thorn in the back, making Zhang He's face become even darker. Chen Xian, you. Zhang He glared at Chen Xian angrily. But right now, he had no other option but to stare. Zhang Hai on the side also looked shocked. This poison is a newly learned skill by his son. It is extremely poisonous. Even those who have just entered the 6th level may not be able to completely get rid of the influence of the poison. How is it possible? Why doesn't Hare's poison work? Could it be that Chen Xian has some kind of spiritual weapon that can resist poisonous gas? The more Zhang Hai thought about it, the more he felt that this was the reason. He never would have thought that maybe it was because Chen Xian's level was far higher than Zhang He's. Then this boring competition should end. Chen Xian said slowly, his tone also sounded lukewarm. Immediately, Chen Xian raised his toes and erupted from his body instantly. The next second, he appeared behind Zhang He. The spiritual power gathered at the tip of his palm, like a sharp sword, stretched across Zhang He's neck. Zhang He suddenly stiffened, and endless fear welled up in his heart. He has never felt such a terrifying atmosphere at such a close distance. And the knife on his neck. I lost. In the end, Zhang He could only admit defeat even though he was unwilling to do so. In fact, many of his skills have yet to be used. But he also knew that Chen Xian's spiritual power was far away from him, and his trump card of ringing spiritual poison could not shake the opponent at all, and there was no hope of winning at all. Chen Xian put down his palm, and the condensed spiritual power slowly dissipated. Suddenly, Zhang He felt relieved and hurriedly ran a few steps to the side, breathing heavily. Then, I will reject these 3 super spirit beads. Chen Xian said with a smile. At the same time, he extended his hand. Zhang He's face was ashen and he walked to Zhang Hai silently. Father, Zhang He lowered his head, extremely ashamed. I originally thought I could slap the other person in the face on my own, but in the end. You are the real clown. Zhang Hai gently touched his head. He didn't blame him. After all, he thought his son could beat Chen Ziyan. I'm sorry, Teacher Luo, Quanzi is used to being reckless and arrogant, and I've caused you trouble. Zhang Hai quickly pulled Zhang He over. Quickly apologized to Teacher Luo. Zhang He was extremely reluctant, but he still lowered his head. Sorry, I was arrogant and reckless today. Please forgive me, Teacher Luo. Luo Tianxiang glanced at Zhang He and said nothing more. After all, it was impossible for him to meet Zhang He, a high school student. Principal Zhang, don't forget the prize for the competition. Luo Tianxiang said. Okay, of course I won't forget it. Zhang Hai nodded like a chicken pecking at rice, then immediately took out 3 super spirit beads from his arms and handed them to Chen Ziyan. The 3 super spirit beads are also very precious to him. After all, Zhang Hai himself is only at the 5th level of cultivation. If he hadn't amassed a lot of money over the years as the principal of Shudu Middle School, he might not have been able to obtain 3 super spirit beads at once. Chen Ziyan took it with a smile. My heart is overjoyed. In just a short time, another 600,000 points were credited to his account. Chen Ziyan put the super spirit bead away with a smile. Exchange. Congratulations to the host for earning 600,000 points. Close black lens bracket. Afterwards, Luo Tianxiang took several people back to the manor. Principal Zhang, you can go back after dinner, I won't send you away. Luo Tianxiang said coldly and left directly towards the study. Although he was not as knowledgeable as Zhang He, Zhang Hai's stupidity made him very angry. He was already trying his best to suppress the anger in his heart before he drove Zhang Hai out. When Zhang Hai saw this, he knew it was irreversible, and his heart was filled with regret and self-blame. But it's useless to say anything now. Zhang Hai sighed and left the manor directly with Zhang He. Tisk tisk. Chen Ziyan returned to the dining table and looked at the large table of food with some regret. Basically, he was the only one eating, and neither Luo Tianxiang nor Zhang Hai moved their chopsticks much. Wasting food is a shameful act. Even Teacher Luo and Chen Ziyan criticized him severely in his heart. It's a pity, it's all cold. Chen Ziyan devoured it. Beijing. Suburbs. Waste. Is this what you call a sure shot? Is this the killer you're looking for? You can't even kill a high school student. What's the use? A hoarse and rough voice fell like thunder. Sir, calm down, sir. I also hired the Tianzihao killer of the Blood Shadow organization. He was probably discovered by Luo Tianxiang and killed him, so. HMPH. Human beings are indeed trash. We can't even handle such a small thing. Sir, this Luo Tianxiang is also the youngest tutor at Qingbei University, and the youngest 2nd grade in history. It is understandable that the assassin mission failed. I don't want to hear this. I only know that you failed. You have to know that the failure of this mission will definitely arouse the vigilance of Luo Tianxiang and even Qingbei University. After that, it will be more difficult for us to assassinate. Got it? Sir, this is indeed our negligence. Please give us another chance. No need, this time I will send someone over myself, so I won't bother you Lu family. Let your family master continue to stabilize his cultivation. In addition, don't stretch your hands too far. If it is exposed, don't be blamed. We show no mercy. Don't worry, sir. Since we have chosen to take this path, we will naturally be extremely careful. However, when His Majesty the Demon Emperor returns, please give us a good word. If you do your job well for us, we will certainly not treat you badly. Gradually, the sounds in the room became weaker and weaker, and the 2 figures also left. A few more days passed. Chen Ziyan, as always, was killing everyone in the secret realm. View my dashboard. Name, Chen Ziyan. Close black lens bracket. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Skills, True Fire of the Sun, Wing Shield, Golden Crow Wings, Sun Realm, Nirvana True Body. Close black lens bracket. Totem, Xuanwu S level. Skills, Hydrotherapy Shield, Holy Armor of Thorns, Shaking the Heaven and Earth, submerging the 8 wastelands with water, Xuanming Realm. Close black lens bracket. Special abilities. Aura is hidden, invulnerable to 100 poisons, and a golden gun is invulnerable. Cultivation level. 5th grade, 0.008 W. Points, 1271.7 W. Items. Fire Sword ×1, Explosive Spirit Pill ×2, Unknown Fragment ×2, Ice and Fire Twin Swords ×1. Close black lens bracket. There are already 12 million points. However, it is still a bit far away from the 80 million breakthrough points. But at this rate, it should be almost done by the time I finish the college entrance examination. Chen Zion murmured. He can now earn hundreds of thousands of points in a day. However, there is still a problem. This training will only last until the college entrance examination. In other words, after completing the college entrance examination, he will no longer have such a quick way to earn points. This is a big problem. We need to think about how to solve it. So far, hunting monsters is the fastest way for Chen Zion to earn points. Without this secret realm, he could only return to the small mountains outside Dingyuan County to hunt monsters. But the level of the monsters there is too low, and the points earned are very few. Are there other ways to make money? Chen Zion really couldn't think of it for the time being. When the time comes, ask Instructor Luo if there are any summer bridging classes or anything like that. Chen Zion murmured and fell into a deep sleep. Zhizhi. In the quiet night, I could only hear a few birds chirping softly on the trees. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Suddenly, a gust of cold wind blew by. The birds flew out immediately. It was as if he had been frightened by something. Boss, what should we do now? Under the tree, 2 black shadows blended perfectly into the night. If he hadn't spoken, no one would have noticed. Wait. Fighting with monsters for a long time will gradually make Chen Zion physically and mentally exhausted. There will be a feeling that the body has been hollowed out. After dinner, Teacher Luo, I'm a little tired. Can I go out for a walk? Chen Zion said exhaustedly. Of course, he was not actually that tired, but if he didn't pretend to be more serious, he was worried that Luo Tianxiang would not let him go. As expected, Luo Tianxiang frowned. You still dare to go out? Have you forgotten the killer you just met before? Just before Luo Tianxiang left for a day, Chen Zion was in danger, which frightened Luo Tianxiang. If something happens to Chen Zion, how will Luo Tianxiang explain to the school and the country? Oh, Teacher Luo, didn't something happen to me last time? Besides, with you protecting me secretly, what danger can there be? Chen Zion came closer and blinked his big bright eyes. Luo Tianxiang rolled his eyes at him. I've been protecting you all day, and now I really want to rest. Luo Tianxiang said. Oh, Teacher Luo, I'm just going for a walk. It won't take long. Where are you going? Just go to the front few streets. There is a blind man playing the erhu there. I want to listen to it. Teacher Luo, let me tell you, although the blind man is an entertainer, his erhu playing is definitely a master level. Last time after listening to it once, I felt relaxed and happy. Blind man, erhu. Luo Tianxiang was noncommittal. But then I thought about it, Chen Zion was still a high school student after all, and it was really difficult for him to want him to stay in such a small manor. An hour or 2 is not impossible. That's fine, but let me make it clear first, it can only take an hour and a half at most. I've been working hard all day and I need to rest early today. Luo Tianxiang finally agreed. Thank you, Teacher Luo. Chen Zion was overjoyed. Immediately, Chen Zion left the manor. Luo Tianxiang, on the other hand, followed quietly in the dark. Because he also wanted to take this opportunity to see if he could lure out the person who wanted to assassinate Chen Zion. Then follow the clues and find out the human defectors hiding in the dark. Chen Zion came to the alley where he was before, and before he walked in, he heard the somewhat sad sound of the erhu. Chen Zion's face immediately lit up with joy, and he couldn't help but speed up his steps. Walking into the alley, the blind man was indeed squatting in the shadow corner and playing his erhu. It's just that there are more dust and holes on the clothes, and there are several more white hairs on the blind man's head. Chen Zion walked over and squatted down beside him. Blind man, here's a song to ease my mood. Chen Zion said slowly, and then took out 2 big red bills from his arms. For Chen Zion now, this is no longer a big deal of money. At least, if it can make you feel better, the money is quite cost-effective. As if he heard the sound of Chen Zion taking out the banknotes, the blind man couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth in excitement. Okay. The blind man nodded repeatedly, and his fingers immediately started to twitch. The sad sound of Erhu slowly filled the air. Melodious music echoed in the alley. Luo Tianxiang folded his hands on his chest and stood silently not far away. His eyes gradually moved away from the blind man, and his vigilance gradually relaxed. He didn't feel much spiritual energy from this blind man. In other words, the spiritual energy in this blind man was extremely weak, lower than the average level of ordinary people. It is almost at the level of high school students who have just awakened to the F-level totem. So, after confirming safety, Luo Tianxiang also began to enjoy the echoing Erhu music. Chen Zion is right, he is really good at playing Erhu. Luo Tianxiang murmured. Even after listening to this song, the restlessness in his heart seemed to be calmed down a bit. Just one song. Chen Zion slowly opened his eyes and woke up from the wonderful world of music. Good. I just feel a lot more relaxed and the fatigue in my body has also dissipated a lot. Chen Zion gently stuffed the 2 bills into the blind man's arms, then turned and left. Let's go. Come back next time when you have time. Chen Zion waved his hand, not caring that the blind man couldn't see it at all. Thank you. The blind man nodded slowly towards Chen Zion's back. Then he gently stretched out his hand and held the banknotes that Chen Zion pushed in his hand. His fingers rubbed the paper of the banknote, as if he was trying to identify the denomination of the banknote. After 2 seconds, he raised the corners of his mouth sharply. I can have a good meal today. The blind man smiled brightly and quickly carefully collected the banknotes. Immediately, he hummed a little tune and put away his Erhu. I got a big reward today, so I can close my stall early. But suddenly, he seemed to feel something and turned his head in the direction of Chen Zion's departure. After 2 seconds, he would turn around, as if he didn't feel anything, pick up his Erhu and walk towards the other side of the alley. As Chen Zion walked back, he picked up his cell phone and chatted with his mother. This was the first time he had been away from home for so long, and his mother still missed him very much. After chatting for a while, Chen Zion said he would have a video chat when he returned to the manor later, and put his phone back in his pocket. Whoosh! Suddenly, a gust of cold wind blew in my face. The cold wind was biting and quite sharp. Chen Zion subconsciously raised his arm to block it in front of him. At this time, Chen Zion looked through his fingers and saw a hooded figure walking in front of him. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. The wind seemed to get stronger. Chen Zion frowned subconsciously, suddenly having an ominous premonition in his heart. He found that there seemed to be some kind of strange smell mixed in the strong wind blowing in front of him. Chen Zion sniffed it carefully. This vague smell seemed familiar. It feels so familiar. Chen Zion thought about it carefully. At this time, the figure in front of him was getting closer and closer. Chen Zion glanced over. The man's hood was lowered, as if he was trying his best to cover his body. Hoo. The strong wind continued to blow. The figure also walked up to Chen Zion. Suddenly, the man raised his head. Under the hood, a scarlet eye flashed. Chen Zion's pupils trembled, and he quickly used the spiritual power in his body to take dozens of steps back. At the same time, Chen Zion finally remembered why this smell was familiar. Because this is the smell of monsters. Of course, it is impossible for monsters to appear here. However, in addition to monster beasts, the monster clan also has this flavor. Monster clan. Chen Zion's pupils shrank suddenly, and he looked at the figure in front of him with vigilance. The response was pretty quick. An eerie and hoarse voice came from under the hood. Are you a demon? Chen Zion said slowly and quickly mobilized all his spiritual power. Ji, guessed it right. Then I'll reward you with death. Before he finished speaking, the figure exploded instantly, and the violent spiritual power directly shattered all the clothes on it. The body gradually changed, revealing its original flesh. That's a color-changing beast monster. Chen Zion immediately recognized its race. Color-changing beast monsters are a very special race among the monster clan. They can transform into the things around them and blend in perfectly. It can also disguise itself as a human for a short period of time. Boom! There was a loud bang. The color-changing beast monster raised its thick and powerful palm and rushed towards Chen Zion. Chen Zion's pupils trembled. The speed of the color-changing beast monster was extremely fast, and it suddenly appeared in front of him in the blink of an eye. Moreover, the terrifying and fierce aura of the color-changing beast monster also hit his face. 4th grade. Another 4th grade. And this momentum is far stronger than that of the previous killer. It has almost touched the level of breaking through the 3rd level barrier. The demon clan itself has a strong physical advantage, and with its more solid spiritual power, even the 5 previous killers will not be a match for this color-changing beast demon. Wing shield. Chen Zion immediately used his skills. Golden crow wings immediately wrapped themselves around him. Boom! There was a loud bang. The terrifying spiritual power exploded instantly. Even with the wing shield, Chen Zion was knocked back several steps by the opponent's terrifying power. This color-changing beast monster's cultivation level is about to break through to the 3rd level. Chen Zion also felt a little strenuous, and a few drops of sweat appeared on his forehead involuntarily. The strength of this color-changing beast cannot be underestimated, far surpassing the killer he encountered before. Chen Zion was extremely cautious and tense. The golden crow totem condenses directly. Groan. The high-pitched cry resounded throughout the world. The color-changing beast demon couldn't help but change its expression, looking straight at the golden shadow behind Chen Zion. What kind of totem is this? Why does it make me feel so frightened? It was very shocked. The weak human being with low cultivation in front of him actually possesses the power that can make his heart tremble. But it didn't think about it. Right now, we need to kill this human as quickly as possible. Otherwise, the longer it is delayed, the greater the pressure on the other side will be. Chen Zion directly used the wings of the golden crow to fly into the air. While being wary of the color-changing beast monster, he looked around again, searching for Luo Tianxiang's figure. Strange, where is Master Luo? Chen Zion was very confused. He knew that Luo Tianxiang had been following him secretly. At this time, Luo Tianxiang should have shown up long ago. Immediately, Chen Zion noticed that a gray area appeared not far away. It seems that Teacher Luo's side should also be entangled by people from the demon clan. Just as Chen Zion was about to fly over, the color-changing beast jumped directly up and smacked at Chen Zion with its sharp claws. Chen Zion could only dodge back to avoid its attack. Don't even think about escaping. The color-changing beast monster made a hoarse voice that made people's hair stand on end. Chen Zion's expression turned grim. Since you are in good condition, let's try to see what level your strength can reach. 2S level totems. With a 1st grade spiritual weapon, Chen Zion still didn't believe that he couldn't kill this color-changing beast monster. At this time, night has fallen quietly. There was no one around the already remote street. In addition, this color-changing monster seems to have used some means to shield the fluctuations of spiritual power, and it has not been noticed by the people around it. Chen Zion's eyes were sharp, and he immediately summoned the twin swords of ice and fire. Boom! 2 divine dragons, one red and one blue, roared out. The roar of the dragon shook the heaven and the earth. The terrifying power struck, and even the color-changing beast monster's expression changed. At the same time, the surrounding atmosphere also changed suddenly. Sometimes it was extremely hot, and sometimes it was extremely cold. This momentum is actually so strong. The color-changing beast demon's eyes became serious, staring straight at the twin swords of ice and fire in Chen Zion's hand. The grade of this spiritual weapon is definitely not low. I didn't expect this human being to have such a trump card, let alone keep it. The color-changing beast demon had a solemn expression, and the cruel look on his face became more intense. Immediately, it no longer had the contempt in its heart. All the spiritual energy in the body burst out. Burning sky palm. All the spiritual power of the color-changing beast demon was concentrated on the right palm, and the huge palm suddenly ignited with raging fire, as if even the sky was burning up. Immediately afterwards, the color-changing beast monster jumped suddenly, and its flexible and strong body appeared in front of Chen Zion in an instant. The terrifying flaming palm fell down brazenly, bringing with it a breath of destruction, and even the air around Chen Zion seemed to be on fire. Wing shield. Chen Zion shouted loudly, and the spiritual power in his body poured out majestically. The huge wings firmly protected Chen Zion, like a golden fortress. Boom! There was a loud bang. All the terrifying power was transmitted to the wing shield. Even with the defense of the wing shield, Chen Zion was still shocked by the remaining force. The remaining power that exploded directly knocked Chen Zion back dozens of steps. The burning feathers on the wing shield seemed to be dimmed by this force. This terrifying power is no less than that of an ordinary third-level demon clan. If it had been the previous killer, he would have died directly under this palm. Ha! This demon clan really thinks highly of me. Chen Zion murmured. First, there is a fourth-grade killer. Now the demon clan actually directly sent a demon clan close to the third level to assassinate him. Also involving Luo Tianxiang, there is probably another stronger monster clan. The demon clan really spent a lot of money to kill him. At this time, Chen Zion suddenly understood what the previous killer said. The killer said before that the human race has no hope of winning when facing the demon race. The number of first and second grade top experts from the monster clan is several times greater than that from the human clan. At this moment, Chen Zion also felt it deeply. A strong man from the demon race who was almost at the third level actually dared to go deep into the heart of the human race to kill him. This shows that this color-changing beast monster can only be regarded as a relatively strong thug in the monster clan, and cannot be regarded as a high-level decision-maker at all. You know, a third-grade strong person is almost a big shot in the central government. At least, it is absolutely impossible for the human race to send such a strong person deep into the hinterland of the demon race. Therefore, after such a comparison, Chen Zion finally realized the gap between the demon race and the human race. But even so, the fighting spirit in Chen Zion's heart did not diminish a little. Burning Sky Realm. The color-changing beast demon roared. In an instant, the whole world turned into a ball of fireworks. The terrifying flames directly engulfed the entire world. Burning Sky Domain. A terrifying and boundless heat wave invaded instantly. The air around Chen Zion was about to melt. Without the Golden Crow Totem, Chen Zion probably wouldn't be able to withstand the terrifying heat. Fortunately, this temperature is nothing compared to the Golden Crow Totem. Chen Zion breathed a long sigh of relief and felt a little lucky. If a color-changing beast monster with other attributes came today, Chen Zion might not be as relaxed as he is now. Of course, ease is relative. Although Chen Zion was immune to high temperatures, the terrifying pressure contained in the domain still made Chen Zion breathless. The Burning Sky Domain expands. At this moment, the figure of the color-changing beast monster stood in the blazing sky fire, like a sky fire god general, exuding an extremely terrifying aura. But other ordinary fourth-level warriors may have subconsciously knelt on the ground at this moment, surrendering and begging for mercy. Glory Sun Realm. Chen Zion shouted loudly, and the spiritual power in his body surged out like a turbulent sea. Groan. The Golden Crow Phantom screamed loudly, and the whole world seemed to tremble a little at the cry. The Golden Crow flapped its wings and flew high, circling up, and a scorching and terrifying heat wave poured out. The eyes of the color-changing beast monster became dull, and he subconsciously looked at the shadow above his head that looked like the scorching sun. Both legs trembled involuntarily. Why do I have the idea of surrendering? What kind of totem is this? The color-changing beast demon said in a daze. However, it was only a moment of confusion before the color-changing beast monster recovered. It has been able to go all the way to this day, and its psychological endurance is also quite strong. No matter what, he must be killed today. The color-changing monster's eyes were sinister, and the spiritual power in his body surged violently again. With the blessing of Fenshin Domain, his power and speed have gained a very terrifying increase. Burning Sky Palm. The color-changing beast monster jumped suddenly, all its spiritual power concentrated on its right palm. In an instant, the body of the color-changing beast demon appeared in front of Chen Zion. A huge shadow directly enveloped Chen Zion. Go to hell, humans. The color-changing beast monster suddenly dropped its palm, and the terrifying power seemed to distort the surrounding space. The rising flames exuded an extremely terrifying aura, like the ghostly fire from hell. With the blessing of the Burning Sky Domain, the speed and power of the color-changing beast monster are far beyond those before. Chen Zion didn't react at all for a while. At this point, it was too late to dodge. Moreover, Chen Zion felt this terrifying power and pressure, and he might not be able to withstand it with just the shield of wings. Even with the Glory Sun domain, the gap between him and the color-changing beast monster is really too big. It is no exaggeration to say that this color-changing beast demon already possesses strength beyond that of ordinary third-level warriors. As for Chen Zion, he is only in the 5th rank after all. This huge spiritual power gap is quite large. It seems that this is the only way to use it. In an instant, a blue-white light enveloped Chen Zion. A sharp but gentle force enveloped him. Spa shield. Suddenly, streams of water surged from all directions, forming a huge shield in front of Chen Zion. Pong! The palm of the color-changing beast monster fell, and the powerful force seemed to be struck in the quagmire. The power was instantly disintegrated. The flame also went out in an instant. The color-changing beast demon's pupils trembled, and he quickly withdrew his right hand and subconsciously stepped back. It looked at its right hand. The spiritual energy in the meridians was drained instantly. That water escape is actually absorbing his own spiritual power. Immediately, the color-changing beast monster suddenly raised his head and his eyes fell on Chen Zion. Suddenly, its pupils seemed to be shaking. The whole person froze there, his mouth opened subconsciously, his eyes became dull, horrified. It was like seeing something incredible. How is this possible? I saw a light blue shadow slowly rising behind Chen Zion. Although it smells like water. But it is like a tsunami that can tear the world apart. The color-changing beast monster is like a raft floating in the sea. When a tsunami comes, it will be swallowed up in an instant. Roar! A deep roar came from somewhere. But it has earth-shaking power. That sound echoed between heaven and earth, making the heart of the color-changing beast demon tremble violently. At this moment, the color-changing beast monster's eyes were gloomy, and the shocked expression on his face gradually turned into a cruel one. This is a totem. Why does this human being have 2 totems? The color-changing beast monster was extremely shocked. The golden shadow from before had already frightened me. It turns out this guy actually has another totem. And this momentum is no weaker than the golden shadow before. Why would anyone have 2 totems? The shock in the heart of the color-changing beast demon could not calm down for a long time. Because this was completely beyond his knowledge. But precisely because of this, its eyes became even more fierce. Such human beings definitely can't grow up. This time, the color-changing beast demon set the blood in his body on fire. Because the previous palm was also resisted by Chen Zion, it could only seek more powerful power. Otherwise, I'm afraid it really won't be able to kill the human in front of it. Roar! The color-changing beast monster roared violently. The blood burned, making its pupils extremely scarlet. The fur all over his body also turned into balls of jumping flames. The entire body seemed to be completely integrated into the surrounding flames. At this moment, the entire world seemed to have turned into a huge furnace. And this color-changing beast monster is the fuel of this furnace. Now, it burns all the blood in its body. No matter what, it will definitely not survive in the end. Anyway, from the very beginning, when it was sent to assassinate Chen Zion, it already knew that it was being treated as a dead soldier. Therefore, there is no trace of panic in it. It has only one thought. That is, kill the human being in front of you. Cut. Chen Zion's mouth curled up slightly. Slowly stand the twin swords of ice and fire on both sides. Roar, groan. The golden crow totem and the Xuanwu totem are on the left and right. Blazing flames, extremely cold waves. Blazing flames, extremely cold waves. 2 completely opposite forces coexist in an extremely peaceful manner. And, they all have one thing in common. That is, they all exude an extremely powerful and ancient aura. It seems to be a supreme being that dominated the world in ancient times. The heart of the various monster beasts trembled violently. At this moment, the fear in its heart could no longer be suppressed. If it were at the 3rd level now, it would still be able to barely suppress the fear in its heart with its powerful spiritual power. But now, it also knew that even if it burned its blood, it would not be able to kill Chen Zion. Its mission failed. Its life is also gradually losing. Seeing this, Chen Zion naturally saw that the color-changing beast had lost its will to fight. So, let's pursue the victory. With a thought, Chen Zion's twin swords of ice and fire, held tightly in both hands, suddenly burst into dazzling light. Glory Sun Realm, Xuanming Realm, Chen Zion shouted loudly, and the majestic spiritual power in his body surged instantly. All poured out. Boom! A roar sounded from between heaven and earth. Groan, roar, the Xuanwu Totem and the Golden Crow Totem soared into the sky one after another. Suspended in the sky, immediately afterwards, the surrounding spiritual energy surged towards them in an instant. One red and one blue light intertwined in the sky. The originally dark night was dyed blood red by the burning sky domain of the color-changing beast monster. At this moment, everything was washed away by the red and blue light. The color-changing beast monster raised its head in confusion, its eyes also very dull. However, after a few seconds, it suddenly looked at Chen Zion. No matter what, fight. Anyway, both sides are going to die, so it is better to fight to the death. Maybe there is still a glimmer of hope to complete the mission. As a result, the blood in its body burned even more intensely. The giant palm like a sky fire struck Chen Zion again. A fight to the death. Chen Zion looked at the color-changing beast monster rushing towards him with some frivolity. With the blessing of the twin swords of ice and fire and the dual realm, Chen Zion's strength and speed have almost made a qualitative leap. The speed of the color-changing monster was so fast that Chen Zion could hardly react at all. But now, the speed of the color-changing monster is so clear to Chen Zion. Chen Zion gently raised his right hand, and the ice sword in his right hand instantly burst into dazzling light. With a thought, Chen Zion's body flashed directly behind the color-changing beast monster. What? The color-changing beast demon felt his heart tighten when he saw Chen Zion disappearing from his field of vision instantly. The next second, a bone-chilling chill came from behind. Suddenly, the color-changing beast demon's pupils trembled, and he quickly mobilized all his strength to turn around and resist. However, at this moment, Chen Zion's speed had already surpassed it. His right hand thrust forward sharply. The terrifying chill was accompanied by the sharp sword thrust. Hardening. The color-changing beast monster roared, and its spiritual power instantly surged to its back. Suddenly, the back of the color-changing beast monster turned into stone. However, even so, the terrifying sword edge still penetrated like peeling tofu without any hindrance. But after hardening, it still bought it some time. The color-changing monster jumped suddenly and distanced itself from Chen Zion. Hiss! It subconsciously touched the wound on its back. That stab almost penetrated its heart. Hoo. The color-changing beast monster gasped for air, and the vitality in his body continued to drain. Its vision is getting blurry. Chen Zion stood in the air, his golden wings fluttering slowly. A small light blue snake coiled up on his calf. It looks amazing. Holding the twin swords of ice and fire in both hands, he looked indifferently at the prostrate beast monster at his feet. His spiritual power has also been replenished. The palm that the color-changing beast monster hit on the hydrotherapy shield was directly absorbed by the hydrotherapy shield and turned into supplementing Chen Zion's spiritual power. Although now Chen Zion has completely gained the upper hand. However, as the two major areas unfolded, his spiritual power was also losing at an extremely terrifying speed. And the twin swords of ice and fire, a first-grade spiritual weapon, were about to drain the spiritual energy from his body. Therefore, we must deal with this monster clan quickly. Chen Zion's eyes turned cold and his thoughts moved. The body swooped down instantly. It turned into a blue and red stream of light and fell from the sky. If someone can look at it from a distance, they will see a blue-red stream of light falling like a meteorite. It's a beautiful scene, but you can still feel the terrifying destructive power. The color-changing beast monster suddenly raised its head, and struggled to raise its huge palms to block the top of its head. It has no energy left to dodge. I didn't expect this human being to be so cunning. The color-changing beast demon screamed in agony. I originally thought that the biggest difficulty in this mission was Luo Tianxiang. After all, Luo Tianxiang is a second-grade expert. They would not send out a second-grade strongman just to assassinate a high school student. I originally thought that since the boss had restrained Luo Tianxiang, this task would be very simple. Unexpectedly, I failed. The color-changing beast demon felt extremely sad. Boom! The terrifying sword light cut down directly. At the same time, the pressure from the Yaoyang realm and the Xuanming realm also fell together. Puff! The huge earthquake force directly shattered the internal organs of the color-changing beast monster into pieces. It felt sweet in its throat and spit out a mouthful of dark blood. The force above my head is getting stronger and stronger. But the consciousness of the color-changing beast demon is gradually blurring. There is not much essence and blood left in its body. Cut! Chen Zion gritted his teeth and roared. Push again. Bah! In an instant, the twin swords of ice and fire cut directly. Blood splattered everywhere. The body of the color-changing beast monster was cut into two halves. What a hateful person. The color-changing beast demon uttered a few words with difficulty, and then died completely, with both halves of its body falling heavily to the ground. Hoo-hoo. Chen Zion panted heavily, looked around, made sure there was no one spying on him, and then removed the Yaoyang domain and the Xuanming domain one after another. The Golden Crow Totem and Xuanwu Totem also dissipated. Then, he carefully put away the twin swords of ice and fire. It is indeed extremely powerful to use these two totems and two fields together, but the consumption of spiritual power is really scary. In less than 10 minutes, the spiritual energy in his body was almost drained. Chen Zion gently stroked his chest, feeling a sense of overdraft and weakness spread throughout his body. However, Chen Zion's face still showed a touch of joy and excitement that was difficult to conceal. He looked straight at the corpse of the color-changing beast monster, and stars were about to pop out of his eyes. Hee, I wonder how many points this monster can have. Chen Zion couldn't wait to exchange it. Congratulations to the host for earning 500,000 points. Close black lens bracket. 5 million. There are so many. Chen Zion was very shocked. You know, the 4th grade monster he hunted in the secret realm before only had 80,000 points. This color-changing beast monster is already very close to the 3rd level. This means that a real 3rd grade monster probably has close to 1 million points. Chen Zion, are you okay? While Chen Zion was still in excitement, Luo Tianxiang finally rushed over. Chen Zion quickly stood up. I saw that Luo Tianxiang's whole body was not messy at all, but his breath was a bit short. Chen Zion, are you okay? Teacher Luo, I'm fine. Luo Tianxiang looked at the blood on the ground and frowned. However, the tense mind also relaxed. Fortunately, Chen Zion is safe and sound. Did you encounter a monster attack? Luo Tianxiang asked. Chen Zion nodded. It's a 4th grade color-changing beast monster, but I have already killed it. Chen Zion said lightly, then glanced at a pool of blood at his feet, and quickly added, I have burned it clean with the real fire of the sun. Luo Tianxiang nodded without any doubt. That's good. No one from the monster clan would have thought that Chen Zion was so powerful that even 4th level monsters were no match for him. Chen Zion escaped this time. However, Luo Tianxiang still felt scared. Let's go back to the manor first. So, Luo Tianxiang took Chen Zion back to the manor without stopping. Teacher Luo, were you involved by the demon clan before? Chen Zion asked. Luo Tianxiang nodded. Yes, not long after you walked out of the alley, an ethereal demon entangled me. Although that void spirit demon is only at the 3rd level, its abilities are very tricky. It used up more than half of its spiritual power to construct a virtual space in advance, trapping me in it. In addition, it can make its own body virtual. For a while, I couldn't break out of its trap in time. Luo Tianxiang briefly explained what happened. Although Luo Tianxiang is a 2nd level expert, the void spirit demon is only a 3rd level expert. The gap between the first rank is as insurmountable as a natural chasm. However, the ability of the void spirit demon was too strong, and Luo Tianxiang did not have the means to restrain the space ability, so he was dragged down by the void spirit demon. The void spirit demon is good at spatial abilities, making it a very powerful race in the entire demon clan. It can be said that they are the elite nobles among the demon clan. But such an elite nobleman was actually sent to assassinate Chen Zion. It can be seen that the demon clan attaches great importance to Chen Zion. Luo Tianxiang couldn't help but feel cold in his heart. Chen Zion, you won't leave the manor until the college entrance examination. Luo Tianxiang said solemnly. He has yet to find out who the traitor is behind the scenes and on the demon front, so Chen Ziyan is still in danger. After what happened tonight, Luo Tianxiang was sweating from behind. If the monster clan had sent an extra man, Chen Ziyan would probably be in great danger. Luo Tianxiang didn't dare to be careless again. However, Chen Ziyan was a little confused. But, today, Teacher Luo, you are also involved in the demon clan. In the manor. I understand your doubts, but this manor is not as simple as you think. Luo Tianxiang said slowly. Seeing this, Chen Ziyan said nothing more, nodded and agreed. Is there anything special about this manor? Hearing Luo Tianxiang's words, Chen Ziyan couldn't help but become curious. If he remembered correctly, this manor was arranged by the governor. Okay, you go back first. After all, you have consumed so much physical strength and demonic spiritual power today. Get some rest early. We will continue training tomorrow. Luo Tianxiang said and asked Chen Ziyan to return to his room. Teacher Na Luo, you should also go to bed early. Chen Ziyan nodded, turned and left. Then, Luo Tianxiang frowned and sat down with a worried look on his face. Start thinking carefully. If it were the previous killer, it would not be difficult to sneak into the capital of Shu. However, it would be very difficult for two monster clans, one third grade and one fourth grade, to penetrate the border defense line and sneak into the capital of Shu. It's like ascending to heaven. The person who can help the demon clan infiltrate in this situation is definitely not an ordinary person, and the previous killer of the Blood Shadow organization is not someone ordinary people can afford. The Tianzihao killer is a third and fourth grade demon clan. I am afraid that there are not many people with such abilities in the entire southwest region. So, will it be the capital? Luo Tianxiang frowned, and his face became increasingly gloomy. He didn't dare to think about it any further. He was afraid that the person involved in the end. Later, Luo Tianxiang picked up the phone. Little Luo, what happened again? An elderly voice came from the other end of the phone. Mr. Han, this is what happened. Luo Tianxiang slowly told the whole story. A long while. What? Two demon clans actually sneaked into the capital of Shu. And one is a virtual spirit demon. Mr. Han was extremely shocked. Yes, so I guess that the person who is hooking up with the demon clan behind this is definitely not a simple guy. Luo Tianxiang said solemnly. You were right. To be able to send two demon clans into Shudu, there are few people who need to be dealt with in Shudu, right? And there is also the Blood Shadow organization before. I have also investigated it. Chen Ziyan's reward price is not enough to make a Tianzihao killer excited. It seems that the person who issued the reward order has some personal relationship with the killer. That's why we invited the killer. Mr. Han said, his tone turning serious from the previous anger. Etc. Suddenly, Mr. Han seemed to remember something. You said earlier that you were involved in the third grade ethereal spirit demon, so how did you deal with the fourth grade color-changing beast demon? Well, that color-changing beast was killed by Chen Ziyan himself. Luo Tianxiang said slowly. There was silence on the other end of the phone for 2 seconds. Then there was a scream. What? Ronaldinho, are you kidding me? Isn't Chen Ziyan still a senior high school student? How could he possibly kill a fourth grade monster? Mr. Han's originally calm mood suddenly became uncontrollable. Mr. Han, Chen Ziyan's talent is really terrifying. When I first met him, I discovered that this guy had already broken through to the 6th level. Then not long ago, I discovered that he had already broken through to the 5th level. In the secret realm, even the 4th grade monsters are no match for him. Luo Tianxiang said, in the secret realm, even the 4th grade monsters are no match for him. Luo Tianxiang said. He was already prepared for Mr. Han to be extremely shocked. After all, he had just started, and for a while he was so surprised that he couldn't say anything. Ronald, is this true? Mr. Han, it's absolutely true. Mr. Han is not a mother-in-law person, nor does he distrust Luo Tianxiang. Simply because this thing is so unbelievable. So, Chen Ziyan is now at the 5th level of cultivation, and can also kill 4th level monsters. Mr. Han asked in great shock, confirming again. Yes, Mr. Han. Luo Tianxiang replied solemnly. Hiss. There was a distinct gasp from the other end of the phone. Mr. Han is already one of the top people in Daxia, and he has seen countless storms. But even so, there was still a storm in his heart, and he could not calm down for a long time. Mr. Han. There was no sound from the other end of the phone, so Luo Tianxiang shouted a few words subconsciously. I'm here, but I'm a little too excited. Mr. Han said slowly, as if he was trying his best to suppress the excitement in his heart. After a few more seconds, he continued to speak. Ronald, listen to me. You must keep Chen Xian's matter a secret. Now he has been exposed to the demon clan. If his true talent is exposed at this time, I am afraid that the demon clan will try every means to kill him. I will go to those old guys to discuss it right away and put pressure on Sakura country. Although I may not be able to pry out the true identity of the traitor from the Blood Shadow organization, at least I can make them feel at peace in the future. Stand up. So, next you need to defend yourself against the demon clan's assassination. Of course, I will send additional protective forces from the capital of Shu, and the capital will also be cleaned up. They should not make any big moves in a short period of time. Mr. Han said a lot in one breath. Luo Tianxiang also nodded repeatedly. But then, he thought of something and asked, Mr. Han, do you want me to take Chen Xian back to the capital now? Luo Tianxiang felt that demons and traitors could not get in the school, and it should be an absolutely safe place. He felt that he could guarantee Chen Xian's safety before, but what happened today gave him a wake-up call. A warning shot. No, if this happens, the demon clan and the traitor will also notice that something is wrong. If we dig deeper, it will be terrible if Chen Xian's talent is exposed. We can't be careless now. Besides, the traitor is very likely to be in the capital, and he may have a lot of background. The capital is also a bit dangerous for Chen Xian. Next, I will increase my patrol strength, and you will temporarily protect his safety in the capital of Shu. Let's bring Chen Xian to the capital after a while. Mr. Han said slowly. Luo Tianxiang nodded and agreed. Chen Xian returned to the room, took a simple shower, and then lay on the bed. The color-changing beast monster that he encountered earlier was the most powerful enemy Chen Xian had ever encountered so far. If Chen Xian's estimate was not wrong, the strength of the color-changing beast monster was already close to that of the third level. Although with the blessing of the two totems of Xuanwu and Golden Crow, as well as the two major realms, plus the twin swords of ice and fire, I was able to successfully kill it. But Chen Xian also knows where his own strength flaws lie. Indeed, 2S level totems, two powerful domain skills, and first-grade spiritual weapons made Chen Xian's explosive power reach a quite terrifying level. However, this power is very short-lived. In less than 10 minutes, Chen Xian's spiritual power was almost exhausted. If the hydrotherapy shield hadn't absorbed the spiritual power of the color-changing beast monster as a supplement, his persistence would have been even shorter. As it stands now, once the two areas are launched at the same time, he doesn't even have enough spiritual power to use the other skills of Xuanwu Totem. Currently, it seems that spiritual power is my biggest weakness. As expected, cultivation is the foundation. You must seize the time to earn points and strive to break through to the 4th level as soon as possible. Chen Xian murmured. Then, Chen Xian looked at his information panel. Name, Chen Xian. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Skills, True Fire of the Sun, Wing Shield, Golden Crow Wings, Sun Realm, Nirvana True Body. Totem, Xuanwu S level. Skills, Hydrotherapy Shield, Holy Armor of Thorns, Shaking the Heaven and Earth, Submerging the 8 Wastelands with Water, Xuanming Realm. Special abilities. Aura is hidden, invulnerable to 100 poisons, and a golden gun is invulnerable. Cultivation level. 5th grade, 0.008 W. Points, 1321.7 W. Items. Fire Sword ×1, Explosive Spirit Pill ×2, Unknown Fragment ×2, Ice and Fire Twin Swords ×1. Hey, I don't know if I can save 80 million points before the college entrance examination. Chen Xian sighed quietly. According to the current progress, he can earn hundreds of thousands of points a day. The training is estimated to be about 3 months away. It takes less than 100 days. It might be really difficult to save up the remaining 70 million. However, I am already at the 5th level now. Chen Xian couldn't help but murmured proudly, and the corners of his mouth slightly raised. In the college entrance examination, most people are still only at the 9th level, and only a small number of top-notch students can break through to the 8th level. As for those who can reach the 7th level, it can be said to be very few. If the whole country were put together, it would probably be less than the number of 2 palms. 4 years of college. In most universities, the graduation requirements are only 7th grade. Only top schools like Qingbei University, Shudu University, and Modu University require only 6th grade for graduation. For example, Xiaolinger and Zhang Momo were graduates of Qingbei University and entered the Southwest Military Region directly after graduation. They are only at the 6th level of cultivation. Basically, the vast majority of graduates from Qingbei University are only in the 6th grade. It's not that they are weak or don't work hard. As your cultivation level increases, it will take more time to break through the realm. From the 9th grade to the 8th grade, those geniuses admitted to Qingbei University can basically complete it within 1 year. But from the 8th grade to the 7th grade, except for the top few geniuses, it will probably take 2 years for everyone else. As for going from 7th grade to 6th grade, it requires more time and effort. It is enough to show how terrifying Chen Xian's current cultivation level is. No wonder Luo Tianxiang was so shocked at first. Then, the phone rang. It was a video call from my mother. Chen Xian connected to the video and started chatting with his parents. After 3 months, early June. Okay, that's it for today. Luo Tianxiang said. Okay. Chen Xian nodded and put the corpses of the last few monster beasts into storage bags. Exchange. Congratulations to the host for earning 60,000 points. Close black lens bracket. Afterwards, Luo Tianxiang took Chen Xian and left the secret realm. Return to the manor. Chen Xian, today is the last day of this training. Tomorrow will be the assessment and acceptance of this training. Tomorrow morning, come with me to the capital. Luo Tianxiang said. Capital. Okay. Chen Xian nodded. So, Chen Xian immediately returned to the room and started packing his things. The capital, as the capital of Daxia, is naturally the face of a country, the most luxurious and developed place. Chen Xian has never left the province in his entire life. I was actually a little excited to be able to go to the capital this time. He had asked Luo Tianxiang before. This time, there were 4 students, including himself, participating in the training at Qingbei University. Except for himself, the other 3 seemed to be from famous families in the capital. But Chen Xian is naturally not afraid. No matter how well off those people are and how many resources they have, they still can't break through to the 6th level in less than half a year. What's more, he has already broken through to the 5th level. In this training and assessment, wouldn't he just kill indiscriminately? Just treat it as a trip. Chen Xian was humming a song while packing his luggage. By the way, I remember that teacher Luo seemed to have mentioned before that this assessment seems to have some rankings, as well as rich rewards and resources. Chen Xian rubbed his chin and began to make calculations in his mind. As the undisputed number 1 university in the entire Daxia, Qingbei University has a rich foundation. The rewards for their training and assessment will naturally not be anything ordinary. Not to mention millions of points, there are still hundreds of thousands of points, right? Chen Xian then checked his information panel. Name, Chen Xian. Totem, Golden Crow S level. Skills, True Fire of the Sun, Wing Shield, Golden Crow Wings, Sun Realm, Nirvana True Body. Totem, Xuanwu S level. Skills, Hydrotherapy Shield, Holy Armor of Thorns, Shaking the Heaven and Earth, Submerging the 8 Wastelands with Water, Xuanming Realm. Special Abilities. Aura is hidden, invulnerable to 100 poisons, and a golden gun is invulnerable. Cultivation level. 5th grade, 0.008 W. Points, 7321 W. Items. Fire Sword ×1, Explosive Spirit Pill ×2, Unknown Fragment ×2, Ice and Fire Twin Swords ×1. In the past 3 months, Chen Xian has accumulated more than 70 million points. If Chen Xian is given another half month or so, he will basically be able to accumulate 80 million points. Thinking of this, Chen Xian felt a little pity. After all, such a good way to earn points will not be so easy to find in the future. Chen Xian can only hope that there will be more ways to earn points at Qingbei University in the future. There should be no shortage of secret realms like this in Qingbei University, right? At this time, on the other side, Luo Tianxiang was sitting in the study, and the worry on his face gradually relaxed. Call. He let out a long breath. A touch of relaxation appeared on his face. Finally free, Luo Tianxiang murmured. After these 3 months, he had finally seen how cruel Chen Ziyan could be. Nearly 2/3 of the monsters in the entire 5th-level secret realm have been slaughtered by Chen Ziyan. Those monsters that survived by chance have even developed a certain resistance to the monster-attracting powder. Perhaps, for them, the appearance of Chen Ziyan was a sign of natural selection and survival of the fittest, which helped them evolve. I don't know how long it will take to recover from this 5th-level secret realm. I will be talked about by her for a while when I go back. Luo Tianxiang seemed to have thought of something unpleasant and subconsciously pinched his forehead. During this period, he and Chen Ziyan basically never left the manor. The demon clan no longer sent killers to assassinate Chen Ziyan. Over there in the capital, under Mr. Han's vigorous and resolute actions, a large number of people with evil intentions were discovered. Among them, in the Ministry of Education, there are actually human scum who have secretly taken refuge in the demon clan. This group of moths is simply lingering on the periphery. If it really spreads to the core of the Ministry of Education, it will be quite serious. However, these people are really just outcasts exposed on the surface, and the real big names hiding behind them have not yet been found out. After searching and searching, the clues were lost. Even Mr. Han didn't make much progress for a while. This also shows how terrifying the background of the person who is most closely involved with the demon clan is. Mr. Han felt that it was a bit tricky and had no clue for a while. To be honest, Luo Tianxiang was a little scared when he learned the news. Fortunately, the demon clan lurking on the outskirts of the capital were basically wiped out in one fell swoop. Therefore, during this period of time, the demon clan and the traitors basically did not dare to take any action. Luo Tianxiang stood up slowly, walked to the window, and looked up to the north. The night in the suburbs was dark, and only a thin layer of light could be seen in the farthest distance. There is the bright neon of the city. People under neon lights cannot see the dangers lurking in the shadows. Well, Luo Tianxiang sighed quietly. Early the next morning, Chen Ziyan left with Luo Tianxiang. Before leaving, they happened to pass by that alley. The blind man had already played the erhu there early. Chen Ziyan went up to listen to a song, took out 2 more bills, and then left. Finally, Chen Ziyan followed Luo Tianxiang on the plane to Kyoto. 2 hours later, the plane lands. As soon as Chen Ziyan got off the plane, someone was already there to pick him up. Teacher Luo, this way. A woman dressed as a secretary came over. Teacher Yin, long time no see. Haven't seen you for a long time. The two shook hands. Come with me. Afterwards, the woman took Luo Tianxiang and Chen Ziyan into a black courtesy car. Is this Chen Ziyan? I didn't expect him to be so handsome. The woman looked at Chen Ziyan and said jokingly. It seemed that he wanted to tease Chen Ziyan. Chen Ziyan smiled slightly and nodded. Seeing this, the woman felt that she was not interested anymore. She originally thought that Chen Ziyan would become shy like a shy little boy. On the contrary, the current appearance made her feel uninteresting. So, she shifted her gaze back to Luo Tianxiang. By the way, Teacher Luo, the student led by Sister Dongfang, is said to be quite powerful. It seems he has mastered a very powerful skill. She has been quite proud these days. I guess this assessment may specifically target you. The woman leaned forward with a smirk on her face. The corners of Luo Tianxiang's mouth raised slightly. Yeah, then I'm really looking forward to it. Soon, the car drove to Qingbei University. Qingbei University. The top university in Daxia, the undisputed #1 university. At the same time, it is also one of the top universities in the entire human race. So far, in the past hundreds of years in Daxia, all the first-level experts have come from Qingbei University. Therefore, compared with other universities, Qingbei University has a transcendent status. Chen Ziyan stuck his head out of the car window and looked up. The magnificent and simple school gate stands in front of you. An awe-inspiring aura rushed towards his face, as if carrying a transcendent pressure. The surrounding streets are very wide, and there are no horns from vehicles. because it is forbidden to whistle within 1 kilometer of Qingbei University. Soon, the guard opened the door and the car slowly drove into Qingbei University. Another 10 minutes passed. The car stopped in front of a tall and luxurious building. Everyone got out of the car. "Follow me," the woman said. So, the two followed the woman into the building. Then, the woman took Chen Zion into a room. "This is where you will stay. You will stay here for the next few days," the woman said. Chen Zion walked in and looked around. It was almost the same as the room he had in the manor before. They were both 5-star hotel level. Good. Chen Zion nodded and dragged the suitcase in. "At 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we will meet downstairs." After the woman finished speaking, she turned and left. So Chen Zion began to pack his luggage. After a while, Chen Zion received a message. It was from Sha Linger. "Chen Zion, are you here?" Chen Zion replied, "We're here. How does it feel to enter Qingbei University for the first time?" "I feel the atmosphere of the number 1 university. I am number 1 in Daxia, and I truly deserve the title." "Ha ha ha, you will be a student of Qingbei in 3 months anyway. I will have to call you Senior Sister Linger then." "Okay, Junior Zion, 2 o'clock. Chen Zion ran downstairs on time. At this time, 3 people were already standing at the door of the building. 1 man and 2 women. The man had a cold face and was wearing a leather jacket. He looked like he was from a famous brand, but Chen Zion didn't understand this. One of the 2 girls was wearing a blue floral dress and looked very quiet. The other one was wearing pink headphones, pink clothes and shorts, and was shaking his head to the beat of the music from time to time. They should be the other 3 people in this training. As soon as Chen Zion came out, the eyes of the 3 people immediately gathered over. Being stared at by 3 people at the same time, Chen Zion felt a little awkward for a while. The cold young man glanced at Chen Zion and then looked away. The same goes for the quiet girl in the light blue dress. She lowered her head silently and gently held the hem of her skirt with her hands. Only the girl with headphones came over. "Are you the guy from Bashu province?" "Hello, my name is Shen Miao Miao." The girl smiled brightly and stretched out her right hand. "Chen Zion." Chen Zion nodded, stretched out his hand and shook it gently. "Oh, yes, yes. Chen Zion, I've seen you on the news before," Shen Miao Miao said, with some excitement on her face. "Hey, tell me, how did you grab the Mother Stone in that secret realm of the Demon Clan? Isn't it thrilling, just like in the movie?" Shen Miao Miao seemed to be a chatterbox, talking a lot. Chen Zion's eyes twitched. "This is actually nothing, it's just a fluke," Chen Zion said slowly. He, you are so humble." Shen Miao Miao smiled and said. "Ha ha ha." He also smiled politely. "No one else wants to talk to you, but you still insist on getting involved." At this time, the young man with a cold face turned around, glanced at Shen Miao Miao and said, "Hu Wei, what do you mean?" Shen Miao Miao thrust her waist into her waist and glared at him fiercely. The boy named Hu Wei rolled his eyes, turned his head and looked away. Snort. Shen Miao Miao snorted coldly, and then came close to Chen Zion and whispered softly. "Let me tell you, this Hu Wei pretends to be extremely cold on the surface, but he is actually a slut. You should stay away from him in the future." However, Shen Miao Miao's words that she thought were very quiet fell clearly on the ears of several people around her. Naturally, this also includes Hu Wei. "Shen Miao Miao, you are the boring one." Hu Wei walked up angrily and glared at Shen Miao Miao fiercely. However, Shen Miao Miao was not to be outdone. She straightened up her chest and looked up. Then she made a face and stuck out her tongue. Slightly. "I don't know if I'm not bored. Unlike some people who hold their hands and have a cold face all day long." Shen Miao Miao spoke unscrupulously, looking like a bit of a rogue. This was an eye-opener for Chen Zion. "I originally thought that the other 3 were elite nobles who were knowledgeable and reasonable, but I didn't expect that Shen Miao Miao would be so out of touch." "Shen Miao Miao, don't go too far." Hu Wei was so angry that he bit his lip with teeth marks. "All right." At this time, the girl in the light blue dress walked up and pulled Hu Wei and Shen Miao Miao away. Ping, don't worry, I won't suffer," Shen Miao Miao said quickly. "Yin Ping, don't meddle in other people's business. This is between her and me." Hu Wei also looked angry and wanted to tell Yin Pingping to go away. Okay, aren't there still newcomers here? It's really embarrassing for you to be like this. Yin Pingping said. Upon hearing this, Hu Wei glared at Shen Miao and then turned his head away. Slightly. When Shen Miao saw this, she quickly stuck out her tongue, looking victorious. Okay, Miao, you just went a little too far. Yin Pingping gave her an annoyed look. Hey, okay. Shen Miao scratched her head and smiled. Then, Shen Miao hugged Yin Pingping and faced Chen Ziyan. Let me introduce you. This is Yin Pingping. How about she be a beautiful lady? Shen Miao smiled mischievously, as if she was showing off her precious treasure. Meow. What are you talking about? Seeing Shen Miao praising herself so much in front of outsiders, Yin Pingping instantly blushed and lowered her head. It was in sharp contrast to the carefree Shen Miao. As for that stinky guy, it's Hu Wei. Shen Miao rolled her eyes at Hu Wei next to her. Hello. Chen Ziyan nodded and showed a kind smile. Yin Pingping also nodded, maybe because she was too shy, she never dared to look at Chen Ziyan. Hu Wei at the side also looked over and nodded towards Chen Ziyan, but when he caught sight of Shen Miao from the corner of his eye, he snorted coldly and quickly turned his head to the other side. Chen Ziyan looked at the three people. I thought this was a little different from what I expected. Why do I feel like these three people are a bit childish? At this time, Chen Ziyan suddenly thought of something. Yin, Shen, Hu, aren't these three surnames among the four major families? Could it be? Yin, Shen, Hu, aren't these three surnames among the four major families? Could it be? Chen Ziyan has never forgotten the revenge of his father's broken leg. Before, he went out of his way to get to know the four major families in the capital. In addition to the Lu family, the other three major families are the Hu family, the Shen family, and the Yin family. And the three people in front of me happen to have these three surnames. Could it be said that they are members of the four major families? Hey, Chen Ziyan, I heard that you come from a small city in Bashu province. How did you practice? We relied on a lot of resources from our families to finally break through to the 7th level. Shen Miao came up and asked curiously. At this time, even Yin Pingping and Hu Wei looked over curiously. They also have this doubt in their hearts. After all, since Qingbei University launched this training, this is the first time someone from outside the capital can meet the requirements. Even in the capital, basically, only the four major families or their descendants are able to participate. After all, 7th level is almost as difficult as climbing to the sky for high school students. Just practice every day, then practice. This way, there is nothing special. Chen Ziyan said slowly. All right. Seeing this, Shen Miao was a little disappointed and did not ask any more questions. Although she is careless, she is not stupid either. Chen Ziyan must have his own opportunity to have an unusual cultivation speed. Even if she doesn't want to say it, she won't keep asking. Chen Ziyan said nothing more. He looked at the three of them slowly. To be honest, it's still a little different from what I thought. I originally thought that I came from a small city, and in the eyes of these young masters and ladies in the capital, I would be that kind of vulgar country bumpkin, and they would ridicule and look down on me. Then he showed off his skills in the subsequent assessment, pretending to be aggressive and slapping them in the face. Then, as a result, the first Shen Miao looked carefree, and she was also very familiar. Then there is Yin Pingping. She seems to be very quiet and a little shy, but she doesn't have any ill intentions toward herself. Finally, there was Hu Wei. Although he did look a bit cold and aloof from strangers, he didn't have any hostility toward him. Overall, these three people have a pretty good attitude towards themselves. In this moment, the three of them still left a good impression on Chen Ziyan. In fact, in movie novels, those rich, elite and nobles are always assigned as characters who often slap and insult the protagonist. But in fact, these people have received all kinds of elite education since childhood. The family tradition of a wealthy and noble family is naturally quite strict. Those who grow up in such an environment will naturally not be rude idiots. On the contrary, in the eyes of the three of them, Chen Ziyan's background was something they admired quite a bit. If their identities were exchanged, they thought they wouldn't be able to do what Chen Ziyan was like. At this time, 4 figures walked over slowly. Luo Tianxiang was among them. Tutor, Shen Miao Miao and the other 2 people quickly stepped forward and shouted. The other 3 figures were the mentors of Shen Miao Miao and the others. Teacher Luo. Chen Ziyan also walked up to Luo Tianxiang. Luo Tianxiang nodded. Is this Chen Ziyan who became famous during the winter vacation? At this time, a beautiful woman next to Luo Tianxiang looked over. Chen Ziyan looked over. She is a woman wearing a black hip-hugging skirt, with slender eyebrows and bright teeth, and a plump figure. The tight dress accentuated her figure to the fullest. It exudes a mature charm. If some ignorant young people saw it, they would probably fall in love in an instant. Yes, you are my student. Is there any problem, Dongfang Shui? Luo Tianxiang glanced at the beautiful woman lightly. Haha, of course there's no problem, I'm just a little curious. There was a faint smile on the beautiful woman's face, but she seemed a bit cold. However, when I looked at it today, it turned out that a hero emerges from a boy. The beautiful woman showed a kind smile towards Chen Ziyan, and her previous coldness towards Luo Tianxiang disappeared instantly. Thank you, instructor, for the compliment. Chen Ziyan nodded towards the beautiful woman and thanked her. Okay, everyone, come with us to the principal. Luo Tianxiang said to several people. Headmaster. Chen Ziyan was a little shocked. Unexpectedly, during this training and assessment, the principal was actually invited. The president of Qingbei University is a legendary first-class strong man. You know, the entire human race's first-grade experts are only as many as 2 palms. It wasn't just Chen Ziyan who was a little excited. Even Shen Miao Miao and the others were very excited. Even though they are from the 4 major families, they rarely see first-grade experts. Although their 4 major families are almost the top families in the entire Great Sha. But a first-level powerhouse is a level that has completely transcended. Among their 4 major families, there is only one second-grade powerhouse in charge. Therefore, they also respect Luo Tianxiang and other mentors quite a bit. Soon, everyone came to a small courtyard with beautiful environment. A white-haired old man was sitting in a rocking chair and squinting leisurely. Coming, the old man said slowly. Meet the principal. Luo Tianxiang and the others bowed. Seeing this, Chen Ziyan and the other 4 also learned to bend down. Then, the old man slowly opened his eyes. His eyes looked around Chen Ziyan and the 4 of them. Finally it fell on Chen Ziyan. But it only stayed for 2 seconds longer. But Chen Ziyan still noticed it. It seems that the principal has noticed me a long time ago. Chen Ziyan thought to himself. Immediately afterwards, the principal stood up slowly, wearing a white tunic suit that made his figure look very majestic. Then, let me tell you little guys about the content of this training assessment. The principal said calmly, with a kind smile on his face. Like an elder in the family, very kind. Hearing that the principal was about to introduce the content of this training and assessment, Chen Ziyan immediately pricked up his ears and listened carefully. The other 3 people also had serious faces. This assessment is based on a points system, and the final ranking will be based on each person's points. The principal said slowly. Chen Ziyan looked at the 3 of them, and the 3 of them looked at each other and the others. Now, they are competitors. The rules are very simple. In a secret realm, there will be many Qingbei University badges scattered in various places. Next to each school badge, there will be a Qingbei University student guarding it. At the same time, depending on the age of the students guarding the school badges are also different, and the corresponding points are also different. The principal continued. Actually, you are going against students from Qingbei University. Chen Ziyan was slightly surprised. After all, they are still in their senior year of high school. The assessment starts tomorrow and lasts for 2 days in total. I'll take you to pick out weapons today. The principal said. Then, Luo Tianxiang stood over. Everyone, come with me. Then, Luo Tianxiang led the 4 people to a huge tall building with 4 floors in total. There are many soldiers guarding the building outside. Luo Tianxiang took out a token and led the 4 people into the building. You can only choose 1 weapon on the first floor now. However, even the weapons in the first level are all 6th grade spiritual weapons, which is enough for you. Luo Tianxiang said. However, there was no great excitement on the faces of Shen Miao Miao and the others. After all, They were from 4 major families, and their families had already assigned each of them a 3rd-grade spiritual weapon. Naturally, he looked down upon the 6th-grade spiritual weapons on this floor. Chen Ziyan immediately started choosing carefully. The previous flaming sword was cut off by the killer. Already obsolete. Only one twin sword of ice and fire remained. But the twin swords of ice and fire are first-class spiritual weapons, and Chen Ziyan doesn't want to be stupid and show off. The 2 times he used it before, Chen Ziyan only used it to ensure that he could kill the 2 enemies. This time it was the school's training assessment. Chen Ziyan couldn't possibly use the twin swords of ice and fire just for those points. So, I just took this opportunity to grab a weapon. There are various weapons on this floor. There are swords, knives, guns, sticks, and some special spiritual weapons. Chen Ziyan had always used a sword before and was used to it, so he decided to pick a long sword this time. Wandered around. Chen Ziyan finally stopped in front of a long sword with a red handle. Xiaoyang sword. Chen Ziyan carefully picked up the Xiaoyang sword, slowly injecting a hint of spiritual power. Suddenly, the Xiaoyang sword's body burst into red light. Chen Ziyan felt it carefully and felt it was pretty good. After all, it is only a 6th-grade spiritual weapon. Chen Ziyan would not be so demanding. Afterwards, Chen Ziyan took the Xiaoyang sword and walked to Luo Tianxiang. Teacher Luo, I have made my choice. Chen Ziyan said. Luo Tianxiang nodded. Seeing this, Shen Miao and the others also went to choose 3 spiritual weapons. Although they already have better spiritual weapons. But if you don't take it, you won't get it. And they have no shortage of weapons, but they can also choose some spiritual weapons with special effects. Okay, now that you have chosen your spiritual weapon, go back and rest early. We will gather downstairs early tomorrow morning. I will take you to the secret realm then. Luo Tianxiang said. After taking the 4 people out of the building, they dispersed. However, the 4 of them all lived in the previous building, so they naturally walked together. Chen Ziyan took the initiative to find a topic and chatted for a while. Shen Miao was also very cooperative. Of course, maybe it's also because she is a talkative person. By the way, aren't you all from the 4 major families? Why is there one missing? Chen Ziyan asked. Compared to Shen Miao and the others, Chen Ziyan was more concerned about the Lu family's situation. After all, Chen Ziyan never forgot to avenge his father. This is normal. After all, Qingbei University's training requirements are very high. Even among our 4 major families, we dare not say that anyone can meet this requirement every year. There are only 1 or 2 in a generation. Shen Miao said. At this time, Hu Wei on the side also spoke up. However, in recent years, the Lu family's contact with our other 3 families has also decreased a lot. Yes, I also heard my father mention this matter. Yin Pingping also nodded. Oh, is there any hidden secret here? Chen Ziyan suddenly became curious. After all, the Lu family is his enemy. If you understand more now, you will have a better chance of winning when you seek revenge in the future. We don't know much about this. After all, we are the younger generation and our families don't often talk about this to us. Shen Miao said. However, one thing is certain, that is, the power of the Lu family has been declining in recent years, and there have even been several crises before. Hu Wei said. His father did mention some things to him. Moreover, the decline of the Lu family's power is not a secret. Because the old head of the Lu family passed away suddenly at that time, the Lu family's only 2nd-grade warrior was gone, and many people below were starting to get ready to make a move. However, recently, their new head has broken through to the 2nd grade, and it is estimated that the Lu family will be able to stabilize soon. Quote. Hu Wei continued. The new head of the Lu family. For some reason, Chen Ziyan had a premonition about this new head of the Lu family. What is the name of this new head of the Lu family? Chen Ziyan asked subconsciously. The new head of the Lu family. Let me think about it. What does it seem to be called? Shen Miao frowned and thought about it carefully, but she didn't think about it for a long time. With your pig brain, you can't even remember this. Hu Wei on the side immediately started mocking when he saw this. Hu Wei, what are you talking about? You have a pig brain. Believe it or not, my aunt will beat you into a pig's head. Shen Miao immediately put her hands on her hips, pointed at Hu Wei's nose and cursed. Cut. Hu Wei snorted coldly and turned his head away, not wanting to talk to her anymore. Hu Wei. When Shen Miao saw this, she became even more angry and stepped forward with her right foot, trying to rush forward. Yin Pingping quickly stepped forward to stop Shen Miao. Pingping, Hu Wei called me a pig, are you still helping him? Seeing this, Shen Miao suddenly felt aggrieved. Okay, Miao, let's yell back a few words, but don't do anything. Yin Pingping said. Oh well, Shen Miao nodded. Since Yin Pingping said so, she had no choice but to give up, then pointed at Hu Wei and started to curse. Chen Zion was a little anxious. Judging from Hu Wei's appearance, he should know the name of the new head of the Lu family. Hu Wei, do you know the name of the new head of the Lu family? Chen Zion asked quickly. If I remember correctly, it seems to be called Lu Qingfeng. Chen Zion's pupils trembled. Really? Lu Qingfeng. Unexpectedly, the guy who lost his father's legs has now become the new head of the Lu family. He also broke through to the second-level realm. Chen Zion clenched his fist subconsciously, and a few bloodshot eyes appeared in his eyes. Now, if he wants to avenge his father, he must have a second-level cultivation level. Not only because of Lu Qingfeng's cultivation, but also because of the power of the entire Lu family that he controlled as the leader of the clan. The Lu family has been able to stay in the capital for so many years, and its influence has spread everywhere. The relationship with those high-ranking officials is intricate. It is undoubtedly extremely difficult for an ordinary person like Chen Zion to seek revenge. Chen Zion, do you have anything to do with the Lu family? Why do I feel like you care about the Lu family? Hu Wei looked at Chen Zion with some suspicion and looked up and down. Chen Zion quickly calmed down his emotions and calmed down the anger in his heart. No, I'm just a little curious. Chen Zion said. I'll just call you a pig. If Chen Zion has anything to do with the Lu family, would he still not know who the new head of the Lu family is? Shen Miao on the side seemed to have grabbed Hu Wei's pigtails and quickly mocked him. Cut. Hu Wei snorted coldly, rolled his eyes at Shen Miao, and walked forward. I learn to act cool every day. Shen Miao stuck out her tongue at Hu Wei's back and took Yin Pingping's hand. The four of them went back to their rooms and rested. A night of silence. Early the next morning, Chen Zion and four others gathered downstairs. Not long after, Luo Tianxiang and Shen Miao and their mentors also came over. Luo Tianxiang took out the secret realm Mother Stone. Suddenly, a huge passage appeared in front of everyone. Chen Zion also paid special attention to the fact that this secret realm was only an 8th level secret realm. After entering the secret realm, Luo Tianxiang began to explain. The monsters in this secret realm have been cleaned up and are specially used for the students to fight. Like these 8th and 9th grade secret realms, there are basically few monsters above 7th grade in them. For students at Qingbei University, there is actually not much training value. Therefore, it is specially used as a venue for students to take exams. In the next 3 days, the four of us will supervise your assessment throughout the entire process. We will also appear when the battle becomes uncontrollable to protect your safety. Of course, once we take action, your points ranking will be greatly reduced. So, please have a clear and correct understanding of your own strength, and do not take risks to challenge overly powerful opponents. Also, in order to avoid suspicion, the order of our supervision will be disrupted and we will not be supervised by our own instructors. Luo Tianxiang said. Everyone nodded and had no objection. Seeing this, Luo Tianxiang looked at the four people and issued an order to start the assessment. The assessment begins. Gather here on time in 2 days. Chen Zion and others nodded and responded, yes. Afterwards, the four people headed in different directions. Luo Tianxiang and the four of them also exchanged glances with each other and followed. Following Chen Zion was the beautiful woman in the black butt-covering skirt from before, Dongfang Shui. Luo Tianxiang turned his head and glanced at Chen Zion's leaving figure. Looking at Dongfang Shui again, her brows frowned subconsciously. But then he turned around and followed Shen Miao. The four of Luo Tianxiang are all in the second level of cultivation. Even Chen Zion couldn't detect it when they deliberately concealed their aura. Most of the secret areas are small hills with not much vegetation. The view is average. Chen Zion looked from a distance and saw a flag in front of him. On the flag fluttering in the wind is the school emblem of Qingbei University. That should be where the seniors and others are guarding. Chen Zion murmured. He quickened his pace. Soon, Chen Zion came to the flagpole. Hee, someone is here so soon. Sitting under the flagpole was a somewhat slovenly and unkempt man. As soon as he saw Chen Zion coming over, his lazy face was filled with excitement and joy. It was like a monstrous pervert seeing a naked beauty. I met the senior. Chen Zion greeted politely. Okay, my junior is still very polite, so I will be gentler in a while. The man chuckled. Seeing this, Chen Zion said nothing more and slowly took out the Xiaoyang sword. Ready to fight. Then please be careful, senior. Chen Zion looked at him with sharp eyes and said slowly. The corners of the man's mouth raised slightly, with a bit of contempt on his face. Then let me see what the quality of this year's freshman is like. As soon as he finished speaking, the spiritual power in the man's body also burst out. The powerful pressure was released without reservation. 7th grade. But it is more powerful and solid than most 7th grade warriors. The man did not intend to attack, he wanted to release his momentum, let Chen Zion see the gap, and then surrender obediently. Only 7th grade. Chen Zion murmured. Somewhat unexpected. But it makes sense. After all, they are only 7th grade students. If they send out 6th grade seniors, they will definitely not be able to get the badge. The person in front of him has a very condensed cultivation and a steady and thick aura. He is probably not far away from breaking through to the 6th level. Such an opponent is quite powerful for someone who has just entered the 7th level. But for Chen Zion, it is no different from chopping vegetables. Senior, please be careful, Chen Zion reminded. Then he stepped forward with his right foot, the spiritual power in his body burst out, and his body rushed out instantly. The Xiaoyang sword bloomed with dazzling light. The man's pupils trembled, and he was startled when he felt the momentum coming towards him. He didn't expect that Chen Zion's momentum would be so powerful. That pressure was even above him. Guardian of the Earth. The man immediately activated his spiritual power and punched the ground with both fists. A tall and thick stone wall rose from the ground, blocking him. At the same time, his totem also emerged from behind. B-level totem, rock beetle. Cut. Chen Zion gathered his spiritual power on the Xiaoyang sword and swung it fiercely. The violent and majestic spiritual power instantly gathered on the sword blade, and it slashed forward with a dazzling sword light. The light of the sword penetrates the heaven and earth like a rainbow. The dazzling light passed directly through the stone wall, temporarily blinding the man. Boom! There was a loud bang. The stone wall was instantly crushed into dust. Boom! There was a loud bang. The stone wall was instantly crushed into dust. A huge impact struck, and the man was blown away several meters. How can it be? The man got up in embarrassment. His face was full of shock, and he could not accept the reality in front of him. How can it be? How can it be? How could a guy who hasn't graduated from high school yet be able to explode with such a powerful force? Moreover, he didn't even use totems or skills, he just used his spiritual power to attack. Senior, can you give me your school badge? Chen Zion walked over and asked calmly. The man gritted his teeth, feeling ashamed and annoyed. However, he is not a loser. Then, he slowly took out a blue badge from his arms. Chen Zion took it and looked at it. He remembered that the principal had said before that badges were also different and had different corresponding points. So, Chen Zion asked, Senior, what kind of school badges are there? The man dusted himself off. Then he said, there are 4 kinds of badges, white, blue, purple, and gold. They correspond to the guardian's grade, freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior. At the same time, the number is also decreasing. In the entire secret realm, most of the school badges are white, and there are only a few gold ones. Chen Zion nodded. It seemed that the man in front of him was probably a sophomore. No wonder, his cultivation is about to reach the 6th level. So senior, do you know where most of the seniors with gold and purple school badges are located? Chen Zion asked. Pursue efficiency in order to save time. Chen Zion naturally planned to find those high-quality badges. Obviously, the gold and purple school badges correspond to the most points. After all, the defenders are stronger. Juniors and seniors should basically be at the 6th level. There may even be 5th grade experts among the seniors. You kid, don't be too arrogant. Those juniors and seniors are basically at the 6th level per capita. Are you really sure you can defeat them? The man couldn't help but look at Chen Zion with some suspicion. Although Chen Zion almost killed himself instantly, and it didn't take much effort. However, the man guessed that it was largely due to the power of the spiritual weapon in his hand. The man's eyes fell on the Xiaoyang sword. Feel the majestic and sharp breath. If Chen Zion didn't have this sword, he didn't believe that Chen Zion could kill him. But those juniors and seniors basically have their own spiritual weapons, and their cultivation levels are all at the 6th level, so their strength is far stronger than that of their sophomores and freshmen. Therefore, the man felt that Chen Zion was a little too proud. There's no need to worry about this senior, I have my own sense of discretion. Chen Zion said slowly. The man curled his lips. Seeing that Chen Zion didn't listen to the advice, he naturally wouldn't give him any more advice. Okay, I warned you, don't blame me if you get hurt. Then, the man pointed behind him. Those guys are basically deep in the secret realm. You can go find them yourself. Oh, by the way, the purple school badge and the gold school badge. The flags planted where they are taller and bigger. If the colors are purple and gold, it will be easier to see. Chen Zion nodded and passed over the man without stopping. The scope of the secret realm is still very large. There are only 3 days left. Therefore, Chen Zion didn't want to waste any time. The man looked at Chen Zion's leaving figure, feeling very unhappy and at the same time extremely ashamed. How come this year's freshmen are so strong? They fought so hard for the spot, but they were instantly killed. What a shame. Don't let them laugh you to death when you go back. Ah, the man was grabbing his hair and was extremely mad. However, none of this has anything to do with Chen Zion. At this time, Dongfang Shui, who was secretly following Chen Zion, was also quite shocked. As a second-level expert, she could naturally tell the secret of Chen Zion's sword at a glance. It has nothing to do with the Xiaoyang sword. It is completely a terrifying attack performed by Chen Zion with his powerful spiritual power. Although she is quite far away. However, she could still roughly feel the fluctuation of the aura. At least level 6. Has this kid actually broken through to the 6th level? How is this possible? Dongfang Shui had already stirred up a storm in her heart. 6th grade, what is that concept? Even Qingbei University, which has gathered the top geniuses in the country. The graduation requirement after 4 years is only 6th grade. Chen Zion has already met the graduation requirements before enrolling in school. This is really ridiculous. No wonder Luo Tianxiang feels so proud when he comes back. It turns out he has found a treasure. I originally thought of taking this opportunity to take a deep breath, but in the end I'm afraid I'm going to be crushed by him. Dongfang Shui murmured somewhat unconvinced. Luo Tianxiang's proud and arrogant look appeared in his mind, making him even more maddening. Hateful, Dongfang Shui cursed fiercely, and then quietly followed Chen Zion. Then, more than 10 minutes later, Chen Zion met another person. I looked at the flag, it was white. In other words, this person should be a freshman, and the school badge he is guarding is only white. Although a little disappointed, Chen Zion will not give up. No matter how small the mosquito legs are, they are still meat. Now that we have met, we naturally have to take down the school badge. Hey, it's finally here. The freshman guy was very excited and rubbed his hands eagerly. Senior, I'm offended, Chen Zion still said politely. Immediately afterwards, he raised the Xiaoyang sword. This year's freshmen are quite brave. The man smiled, then activated his spiritual power, and a totem emerged from behind him. B-level totem, Netherworld Wolf. As a student of Qingbei University, he naturally knew that these new students participating in the training were all at level 7. And he himself had only just broken through to the 7th level not long ago, so naturally he didn't dare to be careless. Therefore, I did not dare to underestimate the enemy in my heart, and directly released the totem. Chen Zion's eyes flashed, and he stepped forward suddenly. In the blink of an eye, Chen Zion appeared in front of the man. What? So fast? The man's pupils trembled, but he didn't even react yet. Immediately, the man suddenly activated his spiritual power. Shield. The spiritual power instantly condensed in front of him, forming a huge shield. Chen Ziyan swung his sword down. The Shaoyang sword struck the shield fiercely. Just for a moment, the shield fell apart instantly. Boom! A harsh roar. The shield exploded directly. The terrifying aftermath knocked the man away. It flew upside down in the air for more than 10 times before landing. Senior, can you give me the badge? Chen Ziyan walked over slowly, gently helped the man up, and said softly. Ahem. The man coughed a few times, but the shock on his face had not faded. Badge. He quickly fumbled around in his arms and took out a white badge. Thank you. Chen Ziyan nodded, passed the man, and continued moving forward. The man stared at Chen Ziyan's leaving figure with dull eyes, his face full of shock. He had made it clear before he came that those who could participate in the advanced training at Qingbei University were all geniuses among geniuses. He paid great attention to it from the beginning and directly mobilized all his spiritual power, but in the end, he couldn't even block the opponent's light sword. Well, finally, he sighed helplessly. Then, he took down the school flag next to him. Then, throughout the afternoon, Chen Ziyan met about 10 more people. I got 6 white school badges and 4 blue school badges. Originally, Chen Ziyan thought of using the Golden Crow wings to travel, which would save a lot of time. But after thinking about it, I decided to forget it. This kind of spiritual energy consumption is too great. Chen Ziyan couldn't bear it. And the other side. Pong! There was a loud bang. Dusty. After a while, the smoke gradually dissipated. Hu Wei's face was solemn, and there were several blood stains on his right hand. His forehead was dripping with sweat and his veins were bulging. A white tiger shadow appeared behind him. A-level totem, 8 wild tigers. My junior fellow student's strength surprised me. He is indeed a genius who can participate in training. Opposite Hu Wei was a man in blue. He is a sophomore. His strength has reached the peak of 7th level. There is still a thin line between breaking through to the 6th level. Hu Wei gritted his teeth, a look of difficulty on his face. Most of the spiritual energy in his body has been consumed. The man in blue in front of him did not use his full strength from beginning to end. Even, Hu Wei felt as if he was being teased by the person in front of him. The senior's strength is indeed far superior to mine, but since I can break through the 7th level before the college entrance examination, I naturally have someone to rely on. Hu Wei said sternly, and then activated all the spiritual power in his body. At the moment, he no longer has any reservations. Boom! A low roar suddenly sounded. The majestic spiritual power formed steam visible to the naked eye, rising from the surface of Hu Wei's body. If you look closely, the steam condenses into a ferocious tiger. It is Hu Wei's totem, the 8 wild tigers. The 8 desolate tiger totem is good at attacking. It is one of the totems with the strongest attack power among the A-level totems. In the era when S-class totems were not available, it was almost the most powerful totem. 8 desolate claws, Hu Wei shouted. His eyes suddenly bloomed with a fierce light, shooting straight out. Immediately afterwards, thick spiritual power condensed on both palms, forming a huge tiger palm. Hu Wei moved. The body turned into a gust of wind, and instantly rushed in front of the man in blue. Hu Wei's face was extremely solemn, and he raised his palms high above his head. The violent power was concentrated to the extreme. Falling down suddenly, the air around him seemed to be torn open. The terrifying momentum seemed to directly lock the entire space. The man in blue was unable to move and dodge. Just when Hu Wei's palms were about to fall, the man in blue raised his mouth slightly. Immediately afterwards, spiritual power began to circulate. Armor of thorns. Suddenly, a green light burst out. An armor covered with thorns instantly appeared on the man in blue. In the flash of lightning, Hu Wei wanted to withdraw his palms, but it was too late. Both palms fell. Spiritual energy wrapped around his palms. However, the thorns on the man in blue directly pierced Hu Wei's spiritual membrane. Ah! Hu Wei screamed. He immediately took dozens of steps back. Look down. Both palms were covered with stab marks and dripping with blood. Hateful, Hu Wei cursed secretly, but at the moment, he didn't care about the severe pain coming from his palms. My mind was spinning rapidly, thinking about the next countermeasures. Are you still fighting? How to spell? It seems that this is the only way to use it. The hesitation on Hu Wei's face soon disappeared, replaced by a look of determination. Right now, the spiritual power in his body is less than 1/5. Just enough for him to use that skill once. However, after using it, he no longer had the slightest resistance in a short period of time. 8 Wastelands shock, Hu Weiwei shouted, jumped up, and jumped more than 10 meters into the air. Then, he concentrated all his strength on his legs and slammed them down. Boom! The moment Hu Wei fell to the ground, a terrifying shock erupted instantly. The man in blue's expression changed, and there were extremely strong concussive forces coming from his feet. If you don't dodge in time, the shock will be transmitted to the body, directly damaging the internal organs in the body. The man in blue immediately concentrated his spiritual power on his legs and jumped up, several meters above the ground. However, at this moment, Hu Wei's body suddenly jumped out. Boom! The terrifying concussive power condensed on his legs, causing him to leap forward at an extremely fast speed. He rushed directly in front of the man in blue. 8 desolate claws. Hu Wei's face was extremely solemn, but mixed with a hint of joy and excitement. The power of Bawang's shock was also transmitted to his palms, which increased the power of his Bawang claw by more than 1 level. This palm is enough to break the thorn armor on the man in blue, and can beat the man in blue to lose his fighting ability. Spear of Thorns. The man in blue is using his spiritual power, and the thorn insect totem behind him shines brightly. Huge thorns instantly condensed in front of him, forming a huge spear. It seems to have power that penetrates heaven and earth. And Hu Wei's strength is not to be outdone. The 2 palms accompanied by the roar of the tiger seemed to have the power to tear the sky apart. It smashed down on the man in blue. Boom! There was a loud bang. The aftermath of terror shook. Even other guards in the distance felt this fluctuation. They looked over one after another, with a touch of surprise and curiosity on their faces. After all, they could feel the ripples of the battle even from such a distance. So how powerful is the power unleashed by both sides of the battle? Hoo. Under the flying dust, Hu Wei was breathing heavily, with a look of hardship on his face. Similarly, the man in blue on the other side was not in a better situation. His originally neat clothes had become much messier. Even where the clothes exploded, blood spilled out. As expected of being able to participate in advanced training. Then, he slowly took out the blue school badge. Qingbei University Forum. Brothers, I've sent it. This year's freshmen are so awesome. They defeated me with 1 sword. In the secret realm, a freshman who was instantly killed by Chen Xian's sword posted a message. In these secret training areas of Qingbei University, communication base stations are installed. Therefore, here, they are able to use modern communication equipment. Soon, a large wave of seniors who did not participate in the school badge guarding battle came in one after another. No way, killed instantly. I also grabbed a spot in the guard battle last year and met 2 freshmen. The first one was much weaker than me, and the second one defeated me while I was still in good condition. As the host of freshmen, he doesn't even have a spiritual weapon, right? I guess so. It seems that the freshmen can go directly to the treasure house to pick out a 6th grade spiritual weapon. If their cultivation levels are about the same, the spiritual weapon will almost determine the outcome. Soon, there was a large wave of replies below. At this moment, several more replies suddenly appeared. But the content is different from other replies. The poster encountered a young man with a red sword. I was killed by this guy's sword. Same as upstairs, I feel that that guy is definitely not just a 7th grade swordsman. The power of that sword, apart from the factors of the 6th grade spiritual weapon, cannot be unleashed by a 7th grade warrior. The host replied to them. That's right, that's the guy the first met. That sword was really terrifying. Moreover, he didn't even use the totem skill. He just injected spiritual power into the long sword to cut it. When others saw this, they realized the seriousness of the matter. No way, so strong. Even skills are useless. Impossible. How could it be so outrageous? Are you fishing? Suddenly, a lot of doubts came. After all, this is too outrageous for them. I'm really not joking. Several brothers who participated in this guard battle also said that the new student I met was indeed ridiculously strong. TCH. Who knows if you guys are colluding? It's just that, there is no picture and no truth. I don't believe it. Comma. In the midst of the poster's defense and the friend's doubts, a post was slowly pushed up. Everyone, please stop arguing. We have contacted many students who participated in this guard battle. Let them start a live broadcast before the battle so that everyone can take a look. Suddenly, everyone rushed to the post. Start a live broadcast. What a great feeling. I haven't been able to qualify for the guard battle for 2 consecutive years, so I'm very curious. Not bad, not bad. I also want to see how this year's freshmen are doing. Comma. It was already evening. Night falls slowly. Although there is no change of day and night in the secret realm. However, the 4 examiners still ask Chen Zion and the others to take a rest. The same goes for the other guardians. As a result, the guardians began to discuss the forum one after another. In one night, basically all the guards saw those posts. Start a live broadcast. This is a good idea. That's right, maybe you can earn some reward money. Ha ha ha, it's interesting. I just took this opportunity to let everyone see how powerful I am. The guards who had not yet met Chen Zion and the others were quite excited. And those guys who were instantly killed by Chen Zion's sword were spreading Chen Zion's information everywhere. A boy with a red sword. Kill him instantly with one sword. Is he so powerful? A junior senior looked at the news in the forum and raised the corners of his mouth slightly. Interesting. I hope I can meet him. A faint smile appeared on his face. Originally, he felt that with his 6th grade strength, it was impossible for these geniuses to defeat him no matter how hard they tried. He didn't find it interesting to bully children. If it weren't for those 2 credits, he wouldn't want to participate in this event. But now it seems that the school badge guard station is not as boring as thought. Chen Zion found a pile of dry branches, and with a tap of his finger, the true sun fire instantly ignited. There is no night in the secret realm, but the temperature is a bit cold. Chen Zion simply laid out a barely clean stone slab and lay down. Ah, so boring. Chen Zion murmured. He is not particularly sleepy, but he has nothing to do in the secret realm now. The most important thing is that there is not even a monster. No points can be earned. It's so boring, Chen Zion thought silently in his heart. He looked up at the foggy sky above his head. Is your phone out of battery? I have a power bank here. At this time, the beautiful woman Dongfang Shui fell in front of Chen Zion and handed over a power bank. Seeing that Chen Zion was doing nothing and being extremely bored, she thought that Chen Zion stopped playing with his phone because it ran out of battery. Ah, Chen Zion was stunned. I wonder if this instructor is not my examiner. You won't just show up. Etc. Why are you giving me a power bank? Chen Zion looked confused and puzzled. Teacher, my mobile phone has power. Why do you think I need a power bank? Chen Zion asked. I thought to myself, in this secret place, besides checking the time, what else can the phone be used for? There is no signal and no internet. I can't browse Douyin, I can't browse Tieba, and I can't read novels. Wait, that's not necessarily the case with novels. Chen Zion thought that this reminded him that he could cache a few novels next time and take them out to read when he was bored in the secret realm. I saw you were dazed here and weren't playing with your phone. I thought your phone was out of battery. Dongfang Shui smiled slightly, took the power bank back, and turned around to leave. Playing with mobile phone. Isn't there no signal in the secret realm? Chen Zion frowned and asked subconsciously. After hearing Chen Zion's words, Dongfang Shui understood everything. Then, she gently covered her mouth and laughed. It turns out that this little guy didn't know that there were signal-based stations in these secret realms used for training students. But that's right. The students who participated in the training before were basically from the 4 major families. They have a detailed understanding of the general assessment process. Only this year's Chen Zion came from the southwest and was completely unfamiliar with the training at Qingbei University. Naturally, I don't know this. Seeing Dongfang Shui laughing, Chen Zion was immediately confused. Are you thinking, where did you say something wrong? Would you like to stop looking at your phone? Dongfang Shui said. So, Chen Zion took out his mobile phone and took a closer look. Signal is full. What's the situation? Chen Zion lay on the stone floor and began to play Douyin happily. The night is long and there is nothing to do. Then, feeling sleepy, Chen Ziyan set an alarm clock and slowly fell asleep. Early the next morning, Chen Ziyan woke up and continued to look for the guardian of the school badge. In one night, Chen Ziyan's spiritual power was almost restored. Throughout the morning, Chen Ziyan got 5 or 6 more white badges and a blue school badge. Forget the golden school badge, why don't you even see a purple school badge? Chen Ziyan murmured, thinking to himself, isn't his luck always very good? Why do I feel a little unlucky this time? Just when Chen Ziyan was feeling a little depressed, he suddenly noticed a purple school flag floating in front of him. This really means Cao 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 has arrived. Chen Ziyan was overjoyed and rushed over quickly. Don't worry, everyone, today is already the second day. If it is as those on the forum said, the boy with the red sword should be able to come to me soon. If there is no one here all day, come here, it means that guy has been defeated in front. A man in white clothes was talking to the messages on his mobile phone. He's live streaming. Basically, most of the freshmen, sophomores and juniors at Qingbei University flocked to this live broadcast room to join in the fun. Of course, many people also broadcast live broadcasts of this school badge guarding battle, but they were all freshmen and sophomores, so they were not worth watching. Anchor, look behind you, there is a guy walking towards you. It's true, someone is coming. Anchor, look. Friends in the live broadcast room were the first to spot Chen Ziyan. The man in white turned around and looked overjoyed. It's finally here. Then, he put the phone away and put it behind him. Then he took about 10 steps forward, so that people in the live broadcast room can see him and Chen Ziyan completely. Are you the guy with the red sword? The man in white asked. Holding a red sword, Chen Ziyan frowned slightly, wondering if he was already so famous now. But I thought so. Yesterday, I killed more than 10 people in a row. Those guys must have spread their situation in the evening. If the senior is talking about this Xiaoyang sword, then it should probably be me. Chen Ziyan said slowly, pointing down with his right hand, and the flaming Xiaoyang sword instantly appeared in his hand. A heat wave of high temperature spread to the surroundings instantly. Even the expression of the man in white changed slightly. But just for a moment. There was more excitement on his face. He, it's quite interesting to train newcomers. This guy should be the boy with the red sword that a few people on the forum mentioned. He really has an extraordinary temperament. I have to say, this guy is really handsome. I just don't know if he is as awesome as those guys said. Tisk. This guy's appearance makes me think he is just a wax head with a silver gun, good for both appearance and use. I think you are just jealous of others, right? Were you qualified to participate in this training when you were in your senior year of high school? You also called others a silver gun wax head. I agree with you upstairs, some people just like to hurt others. The live broadcast room suddenly became lively. The popularity of the crowd suddenly soared. Of course, the behavioral school that opened the live broadcast room noticed it immediately and did not stop it. However, things like these must not be leaked. Therefore, the school has imposed restrictions so that only those with the school's IP address can enter these live broadcast rooms. Actually, you're still doing a live broadcast. Chen Ziyan naturally noticed the mobile phone holder behind the man in white. Although it was a little far away, he still saw the pictures on the screen in the barrage. It's obviously a live broadcast. Chen Ziyan was slightly surprised. Can you still play like this? But then, Chen Ziyan looked away. This is not something he needs to care about. At the moment, what he cares about should be getting the purple school badge as soon as possible. Chen Ziyan's eyes were sharp as he looked straight at the man in white in front of him. Senior, that's offending. Chen Ziyan raised the Xiaoyang sword and said calmly. After 2 seconds, Chen Ziyan injected spiritual power into the Xiaoyang sword. The Xiaoyang sword instantly burst into dazzling light. Like a fiercely burning flame. Not bad. Something. A trace of surprise flashed in the eyes of the man in white, but then it turned into excitement. Feeling the momentum coming towards him, he understood that the strength of the newcomer in front of him was indeed something that should not be underestimated. Chen Ziyan still didn't use any skills. He just injected spiritual power into the Xiaoyang sword and swung out a sword light. After all, these are the future seniors and will become the pillars of the human race. Once Chen Zion uses the true fire of the sun, it will be completely destroyed if he is not careful. Wave. The man in white whispered softly. Move forward a little with one hand. A totem appeared behind him. B-level totem, wave carp. With his slight touch, the air around him instantly became turbulent. Immediately afterwards, a huge wave surged out of the void and rushed directly towards Chen Zion. Boom. There was a loud bang. Chen Zion's sword light was directly swallowed by this wave. The wave did not stop, but continued to rush towards Chen Zion. Wing shield. The golden wings gathered directly, wrapping Chen Zion inside, making him impregnable. The wave is coming. Chen Zion, however, remained motionless. Interesting. The man in white had a faint smile on his face. Then, he slowly raised his arm. Rain from the sky. As his words fell, a dark cloud instantly condensed above the head. Chen Zion looked up and saw that the gathering dark clouds were still expanding. There is great murderous intention in it. But Chen Zion did not panic. This momentum is nothing to him. It's time to end the battle. Chen Zion murmured. Immediately afterwards, he quickly circulated his spiritual power, and the Shaoyang sword in his hand once again bloomed with dazzling light. Wings of the golden crow. Huge golden wings emerged from behind, and Chen Zion jumped directly into the air, flying towards the man in white at an extremely fast speed. Ha 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 ha, the man in white said subconsciously, and then quickly gathered his spiritual power in front of him. Tidal shield. A huge wave surged in front of him instantly. It surged and formed a tall wall of water. Cut. This time, Chen Zion increased the injection of spiritual power. The Shaoyang sword bloomed with terrifying light, as if it illuminated the entire secret realm. Cut. The Shaoyang sword seemed to be vibrating, and there was a faint excitement and fierce momentum. In an instant, a dazzling light shot out. That ray of light was actually a sword light that swept across the world. It seemed as if the entire secret realm was about to be cut off at the waist. The man in white's eyes instantly trembled, and he immediately used his spiritual power to resist. This time, he no longer had the calmness he had before. A trace of panic flashed across his face. He could clearly sense the terrifying power contained in this sword light. Once it is cut off, it will definitely not be something you can bear. Tidal shield. The man in white gritted his teeth and activated all his spiritual power, not daring to hold anything back. A huge wave suddenly surged around. Wave after wave, the whole man in white was protected within it. The man in white is the master of this sea. Boom boom. The huge waves kept rolling and lapping, creating huge waves. At this time, everyone in the live broadcast room also held their breath and stared at the battle intently. Who do you think will win this battle in the end? Is there still any suspense? Does anyone really think that the freshman can be the opponent of the senior? No, look, the aura exuded by that newbie is extraordinary. Aura, what momentum can you feel through the electronic screen? Ha ha ha, that's right, you don't really believe what those guys on the forum said, do you? No, although the momentum thing may be something I made up in my own head. But you see, the anchor's face has become very serious now, far from as relaxed as it was at the beginning. What you said makes sense, but I still don't believe that a freshman can defeat an old guy who is a junior. That's right, after all, no matter how talented these freshmen are, they have just entered the 7th level. They can barely defeat the 1st and 2nd graders with the help of 6th grade spiritual weapons, but they want to defeat the 6th grade seniors. That's absolutely whimsical. I agree with you upstairs. If the host loses to this freshman, I will perform a handstand and shit at this year's freshman party. Suddenly I want this freshman to win. What's going on? Bad smile. I've taken a screenshot, but, just in case, you can't say for sure, right? Bad smile. The live broadcast room was also quite lively. But at this moment, the man in white, who was the anchor, felt quite solemn and even a little panicked. He felt that he was really no match for this new student. I originally planned to show off my strength in front of the freshmen and sophomores. As a result, looking at it now, it feels like the car is about to overturn. Finally, Chen Zion's sword light got closer and closer, and finally fell in front of his eyes. Huge and turbulent waves kept coming in front of me, forming a thick wall of water. Boom, there was a loud bang. The sword light and the wave collided instantly. Violent splashes of water flowed in all directions. Even a mobile phone that was dozens of meters away was affected by the waves. The screen suddenly went blank. What's going on? Now the camera is also hit by the water, it's so beautiful. Who wins? Does that guy from before still want to stand on his head and poop? For a moment, everyone in the live broadcast room became curious and couldn't wait to see the final outcome. The water on the phone slowly dripped, and the camera gradually became clearer. Quick, quick, quick. Who wins? Don't worry. Stop the barrage, it's too blocking your view. Speaking of us, aren't you still sending barrages? Stop making noise. Be quiet. Who won in the end? People in the live broadcast room were impatient. It was as if this was a gambling battle involving their wealth and lives. Finally, the mist completely dissipated. The result of the battle was clearly transmitted to the live broadcast room. What? Holy crap. Is this impossible? This is unscientific. I can't believe my eyes. The one who said he had to stand upside down to poop. Don't run away. Suddenly, the live broadcast room completely exploded. Because Chen Zion slowly stood sideways and glanced at the man in white half kneeling beside him. Ahem. The man in white coughed a few times and felt a rush in his chest. The look of shock on his face has not dissipated yet. His clothes were all messy and torn, like soldiers who had just come off the battlefield. I accept it, Senior. Chen Zion said slowly. Cough, cough, cough. There was a trace of unwillingness in the eyes of the man in white, but he still stood up slowly and said, my junior's strength really makes me, ahem, it opens my eyes, and I am convinced that I lost. Then, he quickly took out the purple school badge from his arms. Chen Zion smiled slightly, nodded, and took over the school badge. Ha ha ha, the host is so embarrassed now. He is half kneeling on the ground, and then someone else says he's giving in. This scene is so funny. Ha ha ha. That's right, this is the first time I've seen such a concession. The host must have lost so embarrassingly. The few people upstairs can stand and talk without pain. The anchor is a 6th grade cultivation level, and they are not the opponent of the freshman. What does this mean? This freshman already has the strength to defeat the 6th grade. How many of you here can do it? Do it. That's right. This year's freshmen are also ridiculously strong. Yes, even if you have a 6th grade spiritual weapon, you can defeat a 6th grade warrior. How on earth does this guy practice? Why haven't I broken through to the 6th grade when I'm about to be a junior? You're in a hurry. I've been messing around for 3 years, and now I'm still at level 7, and I'm not panicking. The guy upstairs is so cool. Don't you panic. Aren't you afraid that you won't be able to graduate? Don't panic, my family has already made arrangements for me. It turned out to be the 2nd generation, disrespectful. So, under the attention of the noisy live broadcast room, Chen Zion passed over the man in white and left straight away. I have to say, this guy looks really handsome, and his back makes people feel unfathomable at first glance. Not bad, not bad. I estimate that when school officially starts, many girls will start returning hugs. I'm really envious. Stop talking, I've been single for 3 years and I can't bear to see this. The man in white walked over slowly and picked up the phone. He glanced at the barrage posted by everyone. Then the live broadcast room was closed directly. I didn't expect this newcomer to be so perverted. It's too outrageous. It's so embarrassing this time. The man in white said angrily. When I think about going there, people around me will probably laugh at me. I felt extremely angry and regretful. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have participated in this crappy event. After leaving, Chen Zion didn't meet anyone again. The next day passed like this. Alas, it's a pity that I didn't find a senior who could protect the golden school badge. Chen Zion murmured. There was some pity in my heart. Then he went to sleep. Early the next morning, Chen Zion directly used the wings of the golden crow and flew towards the entrance of the secret realm. There is less than an hour left before the meeting time. However, the speed of golden crow wings is quite fast. It didn't take long for him to come back. At this time, Shen Miao Miao and 3 others were already waiting here. Chen Zion was slightly surprised, wondering why these 3 people were so fast. After all, he had the wings of the golden crow, and he had covered dozens of kilometers in just 10 minutes. Chen Ziyan looked at the three of them carefully. Shen Miao Miao and the other two were all in a very embarrassed state, and their clothes were damaged in many places. Hu Wei, in particular, had several wounds on his body, probably from a fierce battle. Similarly, the three people's eyes also fell on Chen Ziyan, looking up and down. There was a touch of surprise on their faces. Compared with them, Chen Ziyan's clothes were extremely neat, and he did not show that he had experienced a battle at all. It's more like traveling, relaxed and comfortable. Luo Tianxiang glanced at Chen Ziyan and said nothing. Okay, that's it for this assessment. Come out with me. Afterwards, Luo Tianxiang opened the secret passage. Everyone followed and left. Okay, everyone turns in the school badges you got, and we will count them one by one. Luo Tianxiang said. Immediately, everyone took out all their school badges. I only got these few. Yin Pingping lowered her head, looked at the 4 white school badges in her hand, and murmured in a low voice. Hey, Pingping, we are the same. I thought I was at the bottom. That's great. Shen Miao Miao immediately came forward, put her hand on Yin Pingping's shoulder and said. Miao Miao, what you said is a bit sad. Yin Pingping puffed up her mouth and glared at Shen Miao Miao. He, Pingping, don't be angry. Shen Miao Miao said with a smile. After all, they grew up together and have become inseparable besties. Shen Miao Miao was very carefree and would not really make Yin Pingping angry. At this time, Shen Miao Miao turned her head and looked at Hu Wei, who was aside. Hey, Hu Wei, how was your harvest this time? Shen Miao Miao asked curiously. His big eyes blinked, as if he really hoped that Hu Wei's harvest would not be as good as his own. But, sorry, if you expect me to be worse than you, then you may be disappointed. The corners of Hu Wei's mouth raised slightly, and then he took out a few school badges from his arms. Although I couldn't clearly see how many there was a striking blue color among the pile of white school badges. What, Hu Wei, you actually got a blue school badge? Shen Miao Miao's eyes widened with a look of disbelief on her face. It's not like she hasn't encountered the sophomore guardian before, and she has also tried the challenge. As a result, she tried her best, but still missed a few moves. She also knows how difficult it is to get the blue school badge. Unexpectedly, Hu Wei was able to get a blue school badge. Luo Tianxiang looked at the blue badge that Hu Wei took out and nodded with satisfaction. Being able to defeat the sophomore from Qingbei University is enough to show that Hu Wei has outstanding talent and an unlimited future. But, immediately, Luo Tianxiang looked at Chen Ziyan. Chen Ziyan, take out your school badge. Chen Ziyan nodded, took a few steps forward, and took out a small bag. Thunder, thunder, thunder. There was a metallic clang from the bag. And the bag still looks heavy. Seeing this, Hu Wei, who was still a little proud, suddenly froze the smile on his face. The eyes of Shen Miao Miao and Yin Pingping were also attracted instantly. Under the gaze of everyone, Chen Ziyan slowly took out the school badge and sighed. 1, 2, 3, 15. Chen Ziyan took out 15 white badges. All go. Chen Ziyan, you're so fast, there are actually 15 of them. I haven't met 15 people in the past 2 days. Shen Miao Miao sighed. The two of them had met a few sophomore seniors, but Shen Miao Miao knew she was outmatched, so she went around them. Awesome. Yin Pingping also whispered, looking at Chen Ziyan with some admiration. Seeing that Chen Ziyan just took out the white school badge, Hu Wei breathed a sigh of relief. Although the number is indeed scary, 1 blue school badge I have is enough to equal several white school badges. However, Chen Ziyan did not stop and continued to reach into the bag. Besides, suddenly, Hu Wei had a bad premonition in his heart. His pupils dilated and his breathing became rapid. Under his gaze, Chen Ziyan slowly took out a blue school badge. What? Hu Wei and the other 3 were suddenly shocked. However, before they could recover from the shock, Chen Ziyan continued counting. 1, 2, 6. There are 6 blue school badges in total. Seeing the blue school badge of the 6th sister, Hu Wei and the other 3 were so shocked that they couldn't even speak. Even the other 2 instructors opened their mouths subconsciously, and then quickly looked at Dongfang Shui behind Chen Ziyan. After all, Dongfang Shui was in charge of invigilating Chen Ziyan. Luo Tianxiang's expression did not fluctuate much, because among all the people present, he was the one who knew Chen Zion's strength best. Even the 4th grade color-changing beast monster is no match for Chen Zion. I am afraid that no one among the students in the entire secret realm can withstand Chen Zion's few moves without reservation. Luo Tianxiang's eyes continued to fall on Chen Zion's pocket. He didn't think that Chen Zion only got the blue school badge. Oh, by the way, there's another one like this. Chen Zion reached into his pocket and took out the last school badge. The sun was shining, and the purple light reflected into everyone's eyes. Purple school badge. Suddenly, everyone's expressions changed. Especially Hu Wei and the other 3, their faces were full of disbelief. They couldn't even compete with the sophomores, or they tried their best to get a blue school badge. And Chen Zion actually defeated a junior senior and got a purple school badge. Similarly, the other 2 instructors couldn't believe it either. Dongfang Shui, they looked at Dongfang Shui and wanted to ask if there was anything fishy here. Chen Zion did not cheat. Don't think too much about it. Chen Zion did not cheat. Don't think too much about it. Dongfang Shui held her hands and said slowly. Later, under the shocked eyes of everyone, Luo Tianxiang had already counted the rankings this time. Shen Miao and Yin Pingping tied for 3rd place with 4 points. Hu Wei is 2nd with 11 points. Chen Zion is naturally 1st, with 60 points. The white school badge is worth 1 point, the blue school badge is worth 5 points, and the purple school badge is worth 15 points. Chen Zion, you are so awesome. Shen Miao came up and looked at Chen Zion curiously. How on earth did you do that? Shen Miao asked with her big eyes blinking. Although she is quite confident in herself and believes that her talent is not weaker than anyone else. However, the gap in the assessment results this time is really huge. She couldn't beat even the seniors who were at the peak of 7th grade in their sophomore year. And Chen Zion was actually able to defeat even a junior with a 6th grade cultivation level. This is really incredible. In the final analysis, it's because none of them are my opponents. Chen Zion murmured. Hu Wei, Shen Miao, Yin Pingping, Luo Tianxiang, right triangle. After sorting it out, Luo Tianxiang sent the results to the principal. Then the 4 of them, Chen Zion, were brought to the principal's small courtyard. The principal looked at the results and was quite satisfied. Even if it is just a white school badge, it means that they have been able to defeat the seniors at the same level. Moreover, even the freshmen are more solid in cultivation than them. Of course, being able to win the blue badge or even the purple rule would be unimaginable. In decades, Chen Zion is the first person to get the purple school badge. Principal, I have a question that I am a little curious about. Chen Zion said. You say. The principal looked at Chen Zion with a gentle and kind smile. Didn't it say that the highest one is the golden school emblem? But I haven't been able to find the seniors in the past 2 days. Chen Zion said slowly. As soon as these words came out, Hu Wei and the others suddenly turned dark. Good guy, it turns out that I suddenly had the idea of being a senior. We couldn't even beat the juniors. Gap. The principal smiled and said, there is only one senior student guarding the golden school badge in the entire secret realm, so it is normal that you have not encountered him. After listening, Chen Zion nodded. Okay, this training and assessment has ended perfectly. Everyone's training results are also quite excellent, which really makes me a little surprised. As for the rewards for this assessment, they will be distributed according to the previous rules when everyone officially enrolls. The principal looked around Chen Zion and the 4 others and said. It's actually about the time of formal enrollment. Chen Zion was shocked. I originally planned to see if I could rely on this reward to help me break through to the 4th level. Result. In this case, I have to think of other solutions during the summer vacation. Afterwards, Luo Tianxiang asked the 4 of them to return to the accommodation building. After packing up, you can go back and take the upcoming college entrance examination with peace of mind. Principal, do I still need to protect Chen Zion when he returns to the capital of Shu? Luo Tianxiang half bowed into the principal's ear and whispered softly. No. The principal shook his head. The demon clan now has no extra time to assassinate these geniuses, at least judging from the information they currently have. The principal said slowly. So far, according to the information possessed by the demon clan, Chen Zion is only an extremely talented 7th level genius. Plus the plans that once ruined them. But just these will definitely not attract the attention of the top leaders of the demon clan. Right now, they have more important things to do. Thinking of this, a trace of deep worry flashed across the principal's face. The demon clan. After the principal said a few words, he said no more. Before leaving, Shen Miao Miao specially added Chen Zion's penguin friend. Upon seeing this, Yin Pingping and Hu Wei also came up and became friends. After that, everyone packed up their things and walked out of the school together. At the gate, 3 luxury cars have been prepared. Chen Zion, are you going to the airport? How about I take you off? Shen Miao Miao came up and said. This, Chen Zion still wanted to decline. What are you doing, mother-in-law? Get in the car. Shen Miao Miao directly dragged Chen Zion into the car. At this time, Hu Wei on the side narrowed his eyes slightly when he saw this. But then he got into his car. Not long after, Shen Miao Miao sent Chen Zion to the airport. See you at the beginning of school. Shen Miao Miao put down the car window, stuck her head out and smiled brightly. See you at the beginning of school. Chen Zion nodded and entered the airport. Luo Tianxiang had already bought a ticket for him, and originally asked Chen Zion to wait for him for a while before sending him a car to the airport. But Chen Zion wanted to leave early. Afternoon. Chen Zion finally returned to Dingyuan County. As soon as we entered the city, we saw 2 familiar figures. Chen Wei, the mayor of Dingyuan County, and Qin Li, the principal of Dingyuan Middle School. Principal, City Lord, why are you here? Of course I'm here to pick you up. Our genius from Qingbei University. With joyful smiles on their faces, the 2 walked up enthusiastically. How was the training in Qingbei? Was it fruitful? Qin Li asked. Aren't you asking nonsense? That's training at Qingbei University. How can I get anything out of it? Chen Wei on the side rolled his eyes at him. Then Qin Li rolled his eyes and went back. Achieve a lot. Chen Zion nodded and said with a smile. Without this training, Chen Zion doesn't know how long it would have taken him to accumulate 70 million points. Afterwards, Chen Wei sent someone to send Chen Zion back home. Qin Li also repeatedly urged Chen Zion to review quickly. Although I participated in the training in Qingbei, I definitely don't have to worry about the actual combat assessment. But there is also a theoretical exam, and I probably haven't read any books this semester. Although no matter how good the theoretical exam is, Chen Zion will definitely be admitted to Qingbei University. But Qin Li had other little thoughts. If Chen Zion can win the top spot in this year's college entrance examination, then the enrollment situation in the second half of the year. Qin Li was quite excited just thinking about it. Don't worry, Principal, I have a very good memory. All those things are in my head. Chen Zion said. It's better to review. The college entrance examination is tomorrow. Qin Li said. Tomorrow. Chen Zion was stunned for a moment, then looked at the time, and it was true. These days in Qingbei, he didn't pay attention to the specific time. Okay, Principal, don't worry. Chen Zion said with a smile. Later, when I got home, my parents had prepared a sumptuous dinner to welcome Chen Zion. After dinner, his parents asked Chen Zion to go back to his room to review. Although they also wanted to talk to Chen Zion more, after all, they hadn't seen each other for so long. However, tomorrow is the college entrance examination. Chen Zion sat under the desk lamp and read 3 years of textbooks one by one. I don't know if it's because of the experience of being reborn in 2 lives. After Chen Zion traveled through time, he discovered that he had an extraordinary memory, almost a photographic memory. Therefore, Chen Zion never had any worries during every theory test. After reading it once, Chen Zion was convinced that he had memorized all the knowledge points in his mind, and began to prepare things for tomorrow. His parents helped him get his admission ticket and told him the exam location. Black marker pen, 2B pencil, ruler, eraser, etc. are all ready. After cleaning up and making sure nothing was missing, Chen Zion lay on the bed. The phone vibrated twice. Sha Linger, come on for the college entrance examination. Zhang Momo, come on for the college entrance examination. Chen Zion thanked everyone one by one. The The next day, Chen Ziyan stepped into the examination room. The first day was all theory exams. Chen Ziyan was not worried at all. Others, on the other hand, were extremely nervous. In Chen Ziyan's examination room, there was a guy who accidentally scratched his answer sheet because he was nervous. A lot of time was wasted because of changing answer sheets. After the exam, I hugged my head and cried directly at the door of the classroom. Don't be sad. At worst, you can just repeat your studies for another year. His classmate consoled him. Just like in previous lives, the college entrance examination is the only way for most people to break through class. No one dares to take it lightly. The first day of theoretical examination is finally over. The next day is the highlight. The content of the theory test is not particularly difficult, and many people can still get a score of 70 to 80%. Therefore, it is actually difficult to widen the gap in the theoretical examination. Even for students who are admitted to the top 10 prestigious universities, their theoretical test scores may only be a few dozen points higher than those of students who enter junior colleges. What really determines your upper limit is the practical exam. The next day, the practical exam finally came. All the candidates gathered on the playground, evenly divided into more than 10 columns, surrounded by guards and teachers. Chen Ziyan stood in the queue, and his slender height allowed him to see clearly what was going on at the front without tiptoeing. There is a transparent machine in front of each queue. This is a practical assessment machine uniformly manufactured and distributed by the National Examination Agency. It simulates combat scenarios and then scores you based on your performance. Absolute fairness and justice. Of course, if you have any objections to your scores, the examination center can also provide video playback. Soon, Chen Ziyan was lined up. Under the teacher's instructions, Chen Ziyan slowly lay down on the mechanical bed. Then a burst of brilliant light swallowed up Chen Ziyan's vision. Waiting for the light to dissipate, Chen Ziyan's consciousness entered a virtual space. In a small, cramped room. Immediately afterwards, a monster appeared in the room. Cultivation level is only 9th level. The corners of Chen Ziyan's mouth raised slightly. It's been a long time since I killed a 9th level monster. Chen Ziyan raised his hand and activated his spiritual power. The true fire of the sun burst out instantly. I'm afraid the high temperature directly burned the monster into ashes. The terrifying high temperature instantly filled the entire room. If this room were real, it would probably be melted by now. Immediately afterwards, 2 more 9th level monsters appeared. Chen Ziyan waved his hand and raised the knife. The 2 monster beasts disappeared in the blink of an eye. Then, another 8th level monster appeared. Until the end, a 7th grade monster appeared in front of Chen Ziyan. This time, Chen Ziyan used the wings of the golden crow and the true fire of the sun at the same time, and then it was difficult to kill him instantly. The next second, the room instantly collapsed. Chen Ziyan suddenly opened his eyes and returned to the playground. The assessment is over, the teacher on the side said coldly. I thought that it was over in just a few minutes. It seemed that this student had never even fought a 9th grade monster. Tisk tisk tisk. I don't know how many points it will be. The teacher immediately called Chen Ziyan, with a somewhat unkind tone. After all, in his eyes, Chen Ziyan is now a poor student. Chen Ziyan slowly got off the bed and stood on the electronic display screen next to him. Here, your results will be shown immediately. The teacher also casually took out the record sheet and prepared to register. Soon, the results came out. Chen Ziyan, actual combat assessment results. 450. The teacher said calmly, and then subconsciously started to register on the form. Wait. How much? Only then did he react and quickly raised his head to look at the results on the display screen carefully. 400, 450. Full marks. The teacher shouted in great shock. Immediately, people around him turned their attention to him. All go. Full marks. What's going on? Someone actually got perfect marks. It's impossible, right? Hit me now, am I dreaming? Someone can actually get full marks. The people around were shocked and couldn't believe their eyes. At this time, someone recognized Chen Ziyan. Isn't this Chen Ziyan? The Chen Ziyan who has been admitted to Qingbei University in advance. It turns out that he is the boss Chen Ziyan. Now it makes sense. Yes, that's right. I heard that I took part in training at Qingbei University before. It makes sense to get full marks. Chen Ziyan was also a little surprised. Unexpectedly, the score assessed by the system was directly full marks. Originally, Chen Ziyan was worried that if his speed was a little slower, some points would be deducted or something. Teacher, can I go? Chen Ziyan asked. At this time, the teacher recovered from the huge shock. Oh, you can go. He nodded and quickly recorded Chen Ziyan's results. With the teacher's permission, Chen Ziyan turned around and left the playground. The people around him all looked over, looking at Chen Ziyan's light and graceful figure. He is indeed a boss, but he is different. Every time he makes a move, he gets full marks. Tell me, if Mr. Chen Ziyan got full marks in this practical test, will he become the top scorer in this year's college entrance examination? It's very possible. Mr. Chen Ziyan's theoretical scores have always been very good. In this case, our Dingyuan Middle School might really have a college entrance examination champion. Chen Ziyan is awesome. Newbie. Chen Ziyan is so awesome. And he's so handsome. I wish he could be my boyfriend. Just you don't even look in the mirror. Would Mr. Chen Ziyan like a tank of your level? Can you watch less idol dramas? Who are you talking about as a tank? A man with a low head. My family, who knows? I just finished admiring the handsome appearance of Mr. Chen Ziyan today, and then I turned around and met a man with a low head. The mood of the day was ruined. After returning home, Chen Ziyan began to think about how to earn points. The choice of hunting monsters in a small mountain range was immediately passed by Chen Ziyan. Even if you kill all the monsters in the small mountain range, you won't be able to collect the remaining few million points. So, if hunting monsters doesn't work, then the only option is to find a way to make money. However, a few million points means hundreds of millions of dollars. Where can I find this thing? It's impossible to rob, right? Etc. At this time, Chen Ziyan suddenly remembered a place. The college entrance examination is over. Everyone returned home. Some people started going out and having fun. This may be the most unscrupulous summer vacation of their lives. Of course, this time is also the most lively time of the forum. Everyone is talking about the college entrance examination. Soon, a post shot directly to the top. Dingyuan Middle School received a perfect score in the shocking real-life combat assessment. Everyone was shocked. Full marks. There has never been a perfect score in the exams over the years. Whether it is a theoretical test or a practical assessment, it is prohibited to bring any electronic devices during the exam. So no one was able to take pictures at the time. Therefore, without solid evidence, most people simply do not believe it. If it were the top schools in Beijing, they might still have some belief. But this Dingyuan Middle School. How could a person from a remote middle school who had never heard of it appear with perfect scores in the practical examination? Dingyuan Middle School. I just did a search. It's a small county in the southwest. It must be a hype. That's right. In previous years, there were countless schools that completed the college entrance examination and hyped it up. This year, Dingyuan Middle School was also bold. It directly marketed and obtained full marks in the practical assessment. Does this make us fools? Yes, we are all used to it in marketing schools, but this is the first time I have seen someone so stupid. I am from Shudu Middle School. Our highest score in the actual combat assessment this year is only 430 points. Not to mention a small county. This Dingyuan Middle School has really embarrassed all the middle schools in our Bashu province. Cut. Support righteous incision. This kind of rubbish school must give a good education. That's right, I've already reported it to the Education Bureau. Please support me. We can't let this kind of rubbish school deceive people. Brother upstairs. Support you. Everyone laughed at this matter, no one believed it. What kind of hype? What kind of deception? I was right next to you and could see it clearly. The screen showed 450 points. Soon, students from Dingyuan Middle School came to support. By the way, you may not know that the person who got full marks in the actual combat assessment is the Motherstone hero who shocked the country during the winter vacation. Yes, he has been admitted to Qingbei University in advance. He has been participating in training at Qingbei University this semester. His strength is unfathomable. It's just that a group of people who have never seen the world feel that everyone else can't get full marks if they can't get full marks. The forum immediately became very noisy. However, at this time, the person at the center of the quarrel was still lying at home. Ziyin, how did you do in the exam? The parents came back, immediately walked into Chen Xian's room, and asked impatiently. I did very well on the exam. I got full marks on the practical test. As for the theoretical test, it should be about the same. Chen Xian said slowly. There was no trace of excitement in his tone, as if he was talking about a trivial matter. What? Full marks in the actual combat assessment? The father's eyes trembled, and he rushed forward and held Chen Xian's shoulders hard. Ziyin, what you said is true, you got a perfect score in the actual combat assessment. Father looked straight into Chen Xian's eyes and asked. Chen Xian nodded firmly. I thought to myself, is there anything suspicious about this? Isn't it normal to get full marks by yourself? Full marks. Naturally, his father knew that Chen Xian would not lie, and immediately he was in a state of great shock and joy. Full marks. Oh my God, Xian, you really brought glory to us. My father was extremely excited. He has also taken the college entrance examination, so he naturally knows how difficult this practical assessment is. He was admitted to Shudu University and was among the top students in the entire Dingyuan Middle School. But even so, his actual combat assessment was only 380 points. This score is already quite excellent. The mother on the side also covered her mouth excitedly, not knowing what to say. Immediately afterwards, she rushed into the kitchen and started preparing a grand dinner for Chen Xian. After a delicious meal, Chen Xian took out 2 spirit beads. Father, Mother, take these 2 spiritual beads. Chen Xian handed the spirit bead to his parents. This is spirit bead. Father's pupils trembled. He knows how precious this thing is. Even with all their current savings, they can't afford one. Ziyin, this is too valuable. You can keep it for yourself to practice. Your mother and I are both already this age. It is really a waste to use the spirit beads. The father quickly declined. He would be very satisfied if he could recover his cultivation. How could he dare to hope for this? After all, he is already in his 40s and has missed the best period of cultivation. Even if he uses this spirit bead to break through to the 6th level, it is really a waste. And Chen Xian is in the best period of cultivation, when he needs these resources the most. If you make good use of it, you will definitely be able to break through to high grade in the future, even the legendary 1st grade. When Father Chen thought of this, he felt excited. Father, Mother, I already have enough spirit beads. Don't worry, just accept these 2 as soon as possible. Chen Xian said with firm eyes. Seeing this, Father Chen did not refuse, but, Ziyin, this spiritual bead is so precious, where did you get it? It's the city lord. No, it's the training I participated in at Qingbei University. There was an assessment at the end. I performed well, and Qingbei University rewarded me with a lot of training resources. Chen Xian said. I just said it smoothly, and almost said that I became the city lord. Even the city lord Chen Wei might not be able to produce much of such a precious thing as the spirit bead. What's more, it would be a bit unreasonable to reward Chen Xian. I see. Father Chen accepted the 2 spirit beads without any doubts. After all, if his son is so outstanding, Qingbei University will definitely not be stingy with rewards. Later, after dinner, the parents returned to the room and began to refine the 2 spiritual beads. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.